Hey, welcome, buddy. Okay, so anyways, just a few minutes ago, Red's Rhetoric was on Thoughts with Jay Brown's channel, and they're talking about a subject that's turned to be so toxic in our community to the point where people are actually getting death threats. Comments are being made about people's family members. The levels of toxicity are off the frickin' charts, and we've talked about this last night. And it was something that I noticed in that discussion you guys had was that the exact same comments and people that were leaving stuff in the comment section last night, such as I hope Chess gets raped, I hope Steve's daughter gets raped, or Steve's daughter's rapist, and all that other stuff. And by the way, I do have screenshots for all those things, but you go to the Twitters and you can find all that right now if you want to. But the same names were coming up now. There's a lot of questions that people were asking in the live chat, and it's the same group of people. Let me make this very clear: the group of people that were in that live chat were the same group of people that we left years ago. Every single one of those people, just about, except for some new names, were from that group, right? This is a toxic group. This is what they do. They smear people. They go out. Once they've latched onto somebody, they will viscerally go after them for the rest of their freaking lives. Fiona has talked about people that for 10 years. I mean, she does not ever give up when she latches on with somebody when she feels slighted. The same thing with Nate Brody. The same thing with Heretic. The same thing with Lulu. The same thing with Annabelle P showed up for how long has it been since we've seen her come around, Reds? Who else was from that group? Let's see here. Well, Mother Seward, but she wasn't there. Exiled. Who else? I mean, those people that we left, and one of the reasons why we left them was we saw this toxicity. We saw this exact type of thing come from these people. Heretic and Nate have had visceral things in the Great Debate community. I had many videos about them refuting their logic, refuting their philosophy, and they didn't like that. They got very butthurt, and they never got over it. And now, 3 years later, they're continue to troll me, which is fine. I don't care. They trolled me for 3 years. I don't care. But now it's gotten to the point where it's flowed over and started affecting friends of mine, like Moon, who have gotten literally death threats. Dead Kenny and Sprace, who's gotten death threats. So I think we kind of should talk about this a little bit and maybe clear up a few things that were talked about in Jay and your hangout that you had with Reds. I think you got everything right, by the way. But there was a couple questions about the whole Warden thing that I've explained explicitly multiple times, and I think Reds explained it very well too. But I'm trying to get an image here real quick.
All right.
I literally just had that image, and then I was going to show it, and then can't find it. But when people are asked about the innocence, I never said that he was innocent. I said I don't know. I said he believes he's innocent. And when they say, well, you believe that it was consensual, I was giving him the benefit of the doubt. And this is what we mean by clarity and context. When you ask for clarity, what do you mean by this? Look, I give him the benefit of the doubt only because I was having that interview with him. I was not there. I will not claim that it was consensual. I do not know. So anybody who says from now on, Steve claims it's consensual sex is lying to you, because you have it right here at this timestamp. That is not what I was saying. That's not a knowledge claim I was making. That is not an ontological claim that I was telling people. Keep
in mind that you didn't just say it here. You also said it on the hangout that we had literally right after the premiere of the Fiona Robertson Called Me an Obloquy video, because you stated explicitly, I am not making a knowledge claim here.
Yep. I don't know how many times I can say it to these people. They don't care. This is what I want people to recognize. They're running toxicity narratives because they don't care about the truth. These are people from that group, the Great Debate community, that I had 3 years ago that didn't like the way things were going. And they've been trolling ever freaking since.
Steve, the live stream the picture is reversed.
Oh, it is.
From left to right.
Why is it reversed? That's weird. I don't know. Well, anyways,
yeah, that shit backwards, dude.
I know, but I don't know how to fix it. I can do a transform. Flip.
I don't fucking know how to fix it. Don't ask me. I'm not a fucking producer.
Yeah.
There we go.
Transform and flip it. Yeah.
So basically, this is the same person that was coming around last night, and this is the same person that was in the hangout you guys just had. Steve McRae's daughter's rapist, that kind of stuff. These are the same groups of people. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. And so I just wanted people to be aware of the history of why these people have been trolling me for so long. It all boils down to the Great Debate community. It all boils down to the whole atheist and agnostic thing. It literally does. They couldn't get over it. They will never get over it. And now they're taking it out on my friends. Let me get rid of this image now.
Yeah. So a little bit of thing that I wanted to go ahead and put forward out there. Nate Brody wanted to debate me after I gave the debate to Anti-Ordinary. The debate is for Anti-Ordinary, not you, Nate. I know what you're about, and I'm not going to give you the satisfaction of my attention. So I'm going to go ahead and still make the debate open to Anti-Ordinary and Anti-Ordinary only. So she has the option of coming on to a debate with me on modern day debates and presenting evidence that Steve McCrae was engaged in rape apologetics or is a rape apologist. And she will not be able to do that because argument from emotion is only going to get you so far, unfortunately.
Intriguing Fleeland says they're complaining to two things: the case itself, which you really, and in the end, it's a marginal. If you want to know where I'm at now, I'm agnostic. I don't give a shit either way. I don't care anymore about if you did or didn't, unless somebody can actually show me that I was there. But I mean, I cannot live my life based upon this guy. I had him on my show one fucking time. One time. These guys have had a hate boner for how long? Because I had a guy on once. Because I gave him the benefit of the doubt and treated him with a little bit of respect. And by the way, Chester's pointed out the guy treated her with more respect than any of these people ever did. But I was talking about a completely different issue, and they've tried to make it into a weaponized thing against me, and now it has caused so much harm to other people, and they don't give a fuck. So here's that question to whether, I think it's consensual. I don't know. There you go. From now on in perpetuity, anybody who says, well, Steve believes it's consensual. No, I don't believe that. I do not know. Done? What else do they fucking want? Oh, they don't care. Because if any of these people cared, here's my thing. Ask any one of them. Ask Nate. Ask Heretic. Ask Fiona. Ask Exiled. Ask any of those people if they've ever gone to do anything to any of the channels that Dave has been on. Why is it just me? Because I have to give him the benefit of the doubt? Oh, it's because they have a hate boner for me. It has nothing to do with the fact that he was convicted. It has nothing to do with whether he was a rapist or not. It has nothing to do with any of that. It is all about their hate boner for me, and that's an established fact, in my opinion. So
yeah. I'm not of the opinion that this topic is a very fun one, and I think at the very least we can all agree on that. However, this has been used as a weapon, and I'm sick of it being used as a weapon. I'm sick of it being brought up because I know what their main goal is. Their main goal is not to get back at Warden for this horrific thing that he was convicted of. They don't actually give a shit about Warden. They don't.
They don't. I know they don't. Absolutely don't.
Their only goal here is to try and get to you, because if you want my opinion, if I was so pissed off about a certain individual, I wouldn't go after the guy who interviewed him. I would be going after the individual directly. In this case, it would be Warden.
Exactly.
I'll be working my ass off day in and day out to try and expose Warden.
And I would give him my blessing.
It.
I'm not his cheerleader. I don't give a shit if people go after Warden. I have no say in that matter. I have no dog in that fight. And real quick, I got to correct something, an oversight. There's a super chat last hangout that I didn't get to. I got to do it now because I told him I would. Mr. President, 99 for £5. By the way, I'm in full support to give Dick the nickname The Voice. His voice is more epic than AT2 in my humble opinion. Now you can ban me. Smiley face, tongue out. So, and by the way, Dick is here, so that actually worked out really well, by the way.
That was perfect timing, was it not?
And he also says, I wish, for another 5, I wish all present a good morning, night. I don't know how about time zones, but anyways, have this, and fuck uni in all the bad ways. I bring the catch. Actually, I read that one before, but I'll read it again for him. But anyway, so that's where we're at with this. And we were trying to get together and try to discuss what we could do to get Heretic, to get Nate, to get Demi, to basically shut the fuck up about all this shit and move on to other things. Because when my friend Moon starts getting death threats and my friend getting his face starts getting threats, it's time. It's time for the community to speak out, because this is now a hate boner they have against me. I haven't talked about these guys hardly in ever. I have not bothered. They know, because they know what they do to me. I don't give a fuck. Right? I don't care. Nate is a disgusting human being. Heretic, you're a disgusting human being. Fiona, you're a disgusting human being. All you are disgusting human beings. This is why I left you. This is why I wanted nothing to do with you.
I had to actually call them out in real time because they were already trying to put words in your mouth. And I go,
I know, I saw.
You're going to have to prove that News now Houston is innocent. I go, really?
That's not what you said. That's Nate's bullshit because Nate knows how try to run a narrative, and that's all he does for years.
I actually have a question that involves Nate, and I figured this might be a decent time to ask.
Ask.
Nate is a lawyer, correct?
Yes, and he knows how to manipulate. Yes.
Then why is he in his video condemning David Warden for a crime that he has yet to go over an injunction to try to paint Steve in a more negative light?
Because he's a dishonest
I thought he was a lawyer. Is there not something called innocent before proven guilty, or do these people just not give a shit?
They don't give a shit. Look at why. How is Nate honest when he came to my Facebook? He was trolling me. He was trolling Bullinator, and then he would come on fake accounts and troll more. And I have screenshots of that.
So he's legit. Like, this guy is a lawyer who is legitimately okay to throw somebody who may be innocent because it hasn't gone through court yet under the bus, no matter who they are.
Apparently so.
To get to Steve.
Yeah. And look, if more information comes out and I'm like, Dave, yeah, he's a real piece of shit, I want nothing to do with him, is that going to make them stop? Is that what they want? I don't know what the fuck these people want. Oh, they want to harm me, which is okay. I'm used to that. But they're harming other people.
I know what they want.
Yeah.
They want you gone.
Yeah.
Just 100% fucking gone.
They've been trying for 3 years to get me off the internet. This is just another tool that they have to do this. I know this. You all know it. My friends and supporters know this.
Let's stick to the actual merits of the argument here and not just focus on...
There's merits to an argument from them?
Yeah, what are the merits of their arguments?
They are operating on merits, but let's stick to the actual merits of their arguments, if any. Okay, so Steve, I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions, and I'm going to ask it from their perspective, but I'm going to shed the biases that they'll bring to it, and we'll go ahead and ask you just point blank on this.
And I want Jay Brown to do the same, by the way, who did was nice enough to ask me a question prior to that, and I gave him a straight answer on it.
Yeah, so let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and do this. All right. Have you or do you make the positive assertion that a rape did or did not occur when it comes to the Warden case back in the 1980s?
Well, actually, it either did or didn't happen.
He's asking if you're making an assertion about it.
Yeah, well, I think it was a weird question. No, I'm not asserting it at all because I have no idea either way.
Okay, are you?
I'm not asserting it as in other words. Let me make this very clear, and this is really my position right now, but I want to explain it for people that don't understand this concept. If you say something, you believe something, you have no onus to anybody else to demonstrate anything. It's just a self-assessment. I mean, I'm not saying this is the case for me, but if I say, I believe, I got a comb in my hands, right? And you say, what's your evidence for that? I'm like, it's just a self-assessment. It's just my belief. I'm not making a claim to you. I'm not trying to demonstrate to you. I have no burden of persuasion to you. People have their beliefs, right? Every time you say something about what you think, you're not under any obligation to tell anybody about it. But if they say, hey, look,
opinions are sacred.
Yeah, this is my opinion. I'm just going with it as self-assessment. Now, if I say, hey, I have a comb in front of me and I'm going to, this is the fact, right? And I'm going to demonstrate it to you. I want to convince you that this is a comb in front of me. Then I have more of an onus and responsibility to do so. So I have, when it comes to David, fuck if I know, I'm not making any claim on it whatsoever.
Well,
any knowledge claim on that? No.
Well, I actually have multiple questions I kind of want to get through rapid fire.
Sure, go ahead. All right, I get that. This is a learning channel too, Rads.
I know it's learning, but quickly go fuck yourself.
Right. I love you. See how he abuses me?
Okay. Have you ever made the suggestion that rape is infrequent?
Hell no. Actually, it's probably underreported.
Okay. Have you ever made the claim that rape is not a big deal?
It's a very big deal. I've had multiple friends are raped. I've had multiple exes that are raped. I have people in my life right now that have been raped. It's a huge fucking deal.
Now, barring such a scenario where rape this person or I blow up the entire fucking planet, do you think that rape is excusable?
I don't think anything's excusable. There's always extenuating circumstances. You said, hey, 1 billion lives will rape somebody. That's kind of one of those moral questions.
I mean, that's why I phrased it in that way. I'm like, getting rid of the absolute extreme example, rape someone.
There's never an excuse for rape. It's not justifiable. It's not excusable. It is a crime that has absolutely no excuse for committing.
Mm-hmm. And so,
boy, I sound like a rape apologist, don't I? These people are fucking idiots, man.
Hey, God.
Okay, go ahead. What's your question?
Okay. before sex occurs, consent must be given. Correct?
Yes, in some form you have to have consent.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we can all agree there.
Yeah.
But it's like, hey, do me a favor, just don't rape people. I didn't know I had to write that one down.
And by the way, does 2 hours of convincing count? I don't know. Begging and pleading. But yeah,
Okay.
Of course. I mean, anytime you engage in anything like that, this is why I'm very clear when I even banter with my female friends. I want to make sure that they're comfortable with it.
Now, when it comes to, like, for example, do you think any of these are legit? She was dressed a certain way.
Never an excuse.
Well, she took me to her room.
Never an excuse.
Oh, I'm sure she wanted it.
Never an excuse.
Oh, fuck.
But I was sure she wanted. No, I'm kidding. But no, it's never an excuse.
Did you see the way she was dressed?
Those are rape
Fuck
apologist
me.
type things. Those are people that say hey, you know what? It excused my action because she wasn't wanting to have sex. Those are rape apologetic statements that people would use. But you know what? I have to say, if it's like somebody's going, like, let's put it this way. I want to be very careful because I know my detractors are going to take this. I don't think you have to get consent every step of the way, right? I mean, can I touch you here? Can I touch you there? I know people that have put that out narrative, but I think if you're like, hey, do you want to have sex? And if they consent and you're having, at any time they can say stop. You can and this is the big thing. This is where because consent can be revoked. But I know there's people out there that say you have to say, well, let me consent to touch you here. Let me consent to have touch you there. That doesn't make any sense to me. So I want to go on record to say I don't think that's really how it should work, because when you say, we're going to have consent to have sex, it's kind of implied that you're going to be touching them in different places. But as soon as they say, I don't want to have, I want to continue, you're done. Very clear. That is revoking a consent.
Or if you are having sex and somebody says, I'm not comfortable with you touching me in
That's
this
absolutely the case.
place,
yes.
Then that doesn't mean you've revoked sex entirely.
No, but don't touch them there.
Yeah.
I know people that are very sensitive in certain areas. I don't like being touched in certain areas. And what I do is I tell them, don't touch me there. And guess what? They don't touch me there.
Now, and also, you're not making any argument on whether or not this particular case was or was not misreported. Like, you're not making any assertion at that. Okay. So what I did was I went through the entire definition of rape apology, and you've literally, and we've gone through it point by point, and you don't seem to hold any of these characteristics or fit this definition in any conceivable way. And
can I ask a couple questions? Can I ask a question? Because Sweetie says I spent plenty of time alone with Steve, and he's never betrayed my boundaries. Let me ask her. I want to think of this weird word. Have you very, very clear what your boundaries are? And I've always respected them in every possible consideration.
I also have a question. Is it just me, or does this feel like we've had this conversation before?
Multiple times. Again, they don't care. This is why I don't see any purpose. No offense to Jay Brown, I want to get him in here. There's no purpose to the discussions any longer. At this point, go ahead.
Specifically, because we specifically had this exact conversation, I'm pretty sure, right after the Call Me an Obloquy video came out.
I know. This is why we keep have to repeating it for the people in the back, like the Nate Brodies and the Heretics and the Fionas and the Exiles and those people. They don't seem to understand
people that don't have one brain cell to rub between all of them, so they have to jerk each other off as best as they can.
I like that.
Oh, jeez.
But real quick before we get Moon in here, Jay Brown.
Why do I get invited to these things? How do I get in here every time?
You're a hacker.
I feel like I just show up and I don't know where I am. I don't know what's going on, and then I just exist now.
She says, yep, and when it was in the moment, and I said, no, you stopped. You were also great at asking, which is gorgeous. I don't know how to interpret that. But I'll take it as good. Yeah, it wasn't. I don't think she's meaning it as people think it means, that we're not like doing stuff, and all of a sudden, no.
No.
I heard it as clean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. You were very respectable and cautious every step of the way, and took every opportunity to make sure that she was okay with it as well.
Yeah, I mean, even just hanging out, can I sit next to you kind of thing? I mean, how close can I be kind of thing? I get very paranoid about this kind of stuff, I want to make sure that their boundaries are not violated. I want to make sure they not uncomfortable.
Yeah. The reason why I have decided, I just want to make this clear, The reason why I have decided to defend Steve McRae on this is because he is not a rape apologist. He has not engaged in rape apologetics. And I know what's really the underlining driver that is powering such accusations in the first place.
Yeah, and I'm against rape apologetics. Let me go on record and say that. And by the way, one of the reasons this got started was for Yona Robertson. She was upset that I was complaining about rape apologetics for the Catholic Church, if you guys remember. Because I do think that moving around priest is a form of apologetics, and she's Catholic and she didn't like that. This is kind of, who's typing and doxing people in the background? Dick.
Shit, that was me. I missed my mute button. Sorry.
Who are you doxing now?
Well, you know, as they've called me now, I'm Dick Doxson. So I just put out 3 or 4 informations on people just as we were talking, because that's all I do, right? You know,
you're just a Dick Doxer. But people may remember Fiona got really upset when I was going after the Catholic Church, and I do believe that a lot of this was her form of retribution as well for that, not just the Great Bay community. But Brown, did you know a lot about this stuff before? Are we aware of the history of these people?
I'm aware of the history. I've been following the community for a few years now, and it's just boggles my mind that they would hold on to such pettiness all these years.
So if you've been following it for a few years, have I said anything that is untrue, exaggerated, or any way not complete honest truth? And I mean, obviously I throw in my I have a bias. I'm not going to deny that. But I mean, factually speaking, is anything that I've said to you come across as untrue from what you've seen in the last couple of years?
Nothing that I've seen, but you know, I'm also, unlike them, willing to entertain the idea that I could be wrong
We all could be wrong.
You.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sure.
They're sticking to a narrative that they are right about you, and that until they convince everybody that you're the most evil, heinous person in the world, they're just gonna continue on doing they do.
Can I ask a question then,
real
quick? So if you're fine to think that maybe that you're incorrect, does that actually change whether or not Steve, like, let's say that Steve has gotten something wrong, and you entertain them, and they're like, no, and they actually show you something substantial. Steve got this particular thing wrong. Do you then jump to, oh, I guess you were right, Steve has been lying the whole time?
No.
Yeah.
At that point, I would come to Steve and be like, hey, this is what they brought to me. Can you clarify? Can you?
Right.
And he has, by the way. He has come to me. Like I ask people to do, like normal adults will do in a conversation. Yeah. And by the way, Philo, again, keep you're not welcome.
Philo's back?
Yeah, Philo, we kicked you out last night and blocked you, and now you're back. This is what I'm saying.
You're back with the exact same thing.
Yeah, it's like when I don't get it.
No. Hang on. Listen. Let me actually defend Blue here for a second. I know
you can, but she's gone. I don't want her around my channel.
That's fine. That's fine. Let me just defend her for a second here, okay? People can criticize your personality. Hell, sure. I do all the fucking time.
Sure.
No offense, Steve. You're kind of a dick.
Have you met yourself? Do you know who you are?
It's funny coming from
Hot,
me. I know.
But kettle black. Yeah. Okay. Go.
Okay. So listen. So yeah, they can criticize your personality. They can criticize your beliefs. They can even criticize your arguments for certain things regarding to the definition of atheism. Dear fucking
your favorite
God.
subject in the world.
You know, they can criticize you for a lot of things. Okay. And if they were to criticize you and, you know, bring that type of legit criticism to the table, no one would have a fucking problem with. But
there might be a conversation to be had.
There would be a conversation we have here, but they've gone from criticizing to demonization
and character assassination. They're no longer talking about the arguments, and this is what I want people to be very, very clear.
Can we throw in vilification?
Vilification.
Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of words to describe it, but the fact remains is that this has become a smear campaign. This hasn't become a rational discourse where we're genuinely seeking for Steve McRae to improve himself. No, what they want is Steve McRae to leave the platform altogether. And
I'm not going anywhere, guys. So that's
going to be
trying, but
I was gonna say I was surprised Exiled showed up in the chat.
Well, like I said, there's not going to be any compromise to that main goal. They want Steve McRae gone. And so
why is that? I mean, how far back does that go? It has nothing to do with this rape apologist.
There's many reasons. I'm not going to get into it right here, right now. But the fact remains is this: That is the primary motivation. Okay? If they were to actually bring to the table an actual argument, we could base the argument on its own merits and leave the personal aspect out of it. But when they do come to the argument, they try to bring the personal aspect into it. Well, what do you think that says to the victims? You heard Nate Brody say. I'm like, we literally had not one, not two, but 3 victims telling scientists first to cut that shit, and now I'm going to tell you to cut that shit. Oh, yeah, and I understand the same way that those victims don't speak for others' victims, your victims don't speak for them in the same fucking breath.
And I will go on record. I by the way,
wild fucking idea.
It's not
How
right.
about stop speaking for other people and allow them to speak for themselves?
It's not right lie when somebody says, well, if you don't believe this person, you're calling the other person a liar. That's not how it works. That is not how anybody knows anything about discussions works. That is a pure, unadulterated, narrated script. So if anybody says, well, Steve says the victim's lying, never said it. Absolutely never said it. And that is just, again, their narration. Now, failed engineering, $10. I know Steve has addressed it so many times. For maybe one last time, can you please explain believing the accused is not disbelieving the victim, which I just did, by the way. And I'm not saying, like I said, I'm not necessarily believing Dave. I just gave him the benefit of the doubt for the discussion. Benefit of the doubt. Does anybody not understand that? You can believe both at the same time, yes, and for all the sick fucks out there. And by the way, Manya they were going after her as well, by the way. Manya, another $5. Steve's not going anywhere for all the bullies out there. He's got a lot of people supporting me. And it's solidified my base. And like I said, I'm grateful for the fact that a lot of people have recognized it. But I have always been able to deal with that. I cannot deal with it any longer when it's affecting people that I care about, like Chesh, Manya, Sweet, and now Moon. And if Moon wants to weigh in that, please, by all means. This is where I have to say enough's enough. And we need, as a community, to come together and tell people like Nate, and tell people like Heretic, and tell people like Fiona and Exiled, they're toxic. They're toxic rape apologist people. They're using rape as a weapon. They're using this whole narrative again is me as a weapon, and it's affecting other people, and they don't give a fuck. And by the way, weird thing, when Moon got her death threats, it was that group that contacted her said, you know what, we don't condone this. Why is that? Why did that group specifically contact you, Moon? I don't get that at all. I don't know. Is she still there? Maybe she's not
muted
there.
right now.
Yeah.
I'm here. I drove home on my lunch break, pick up my headphones, and my estranged husband was here, so I apologize for my delay.
That's a bad thing, is it?
So there you go. That's what's going on in my home life, people. How about that?
That's not bueno.
No.
Yeah. Well, be safe. That's all. Do you need like somebody to be there with you? Because
just be safe.
Yeah.
No, I don't need anyone here with me. I just need this to stop.
Exactly.
Fuck.
Yeah. So listen to Moon, listen to the rest of us. Tell Nate, tell Demi, tell Sipping Tea with Joe, tell Heretic, tell Exiled, tell Fiona, tell Lulu, all of them to fucking stop it. To fucking stop it.
And Blue, who just came in here.
Who?
Wait a minute. Hang on one second. Hey, Moon. I have a question for you, and I think I should. I think I need to ask this right now. Is that okay with you? Are you okay to answer one question?
You okay, Moon?
Are you okay to answer one question?
Yeah.
Okay. I decided to give this one more stab to finally put this shit to bed on this whole rape apology fucking nonsense. But I see how much this is hurting you, and I see how much it's causing you to kind of break down right now, which kind of rips my fucking heart out, to be completely honest with you. If you want me to simply cease and desist about this subject in totality and not go through with bringing it up again or debating anyone about it ever again, and just stick to the tried and true method of just blocking them outright so that this shit can more or less kind of start going away, I'm more than happy to do that if it will make this shit a hell of a lot easier to you, because I sure as fuck do not want to do anything that's going to cause you any more angst than what's already happened, because what's happened so far has already been deplorable enough.
Exactly. Well said.
Yeah.
Me too. And by the way, I'm totally on board.
I want to say that's probably the good idea, but I want to fight because I don't want to let people take my power. I've had my power taken from me for a very long time, and I can't sit back and just not fight it anymore.
Can I make?
And
And I get that, Moon. God, do I understand the need to fight. And I fought for a long time against this group. Reds fought against this group. Bullying Narrative fought against this group. There's no winning against this group. They will use every deceitful, underhanded, manipulative techniques, and they will affect people's real lives. They have gone after people in real life. Okay, these are vile, toxic, horrible fucking people. There is no winning with them. There is nothing to fight, in my opinion. This is why I've stopped a long time ago. I just blocked them throughout. And by the way, the only reason they're going after people like you and they're going after people that I care about is because they couldn't get to me because I stopped fighting them. I didn't even talk about them. I haven't mentioned Heretic really in any capacity for a very long time. Because he's just a toxic, hateful person. I didn't talk about Fiona for like 2 years, even though she was telling people, Steve's been coming after me for years. No, I haven't. Fiona, that's a downright lie. I never talked to you until you actually made your shit video.
Steve, hang on 1 second. Hey, Moon, I understand the want, need, and desire to fight, but I don't want this to be something that's going to be too much to handle every single time that this godforsaken subject comes up. Are you sure you're okay with me going through with it? Because once it starts, it's going to start, and this shit's probably going to continue for a little bit longer, maybe a lot longer.
Could be.
It's gone on how long already, though?
no, I
Fuck, years.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably at this rate, it's probably going to be decades when the dust from our bones have finally decided to wither.
Where does it end? You know.
That's what I was just going to ask. Like, how long have you guys been dealing with this? I'm a little bit new to this right now, and it's blowing me away. The vile hatred, absolute garbage that's being tossed around by these moronic little shit stains. How do we shut them up? What does it take? What does it take?
You can't.
Well,
they don't want. They're not going to be shut up because they're going to harm people as much as they can. That's their goal.
I might be able to shed a little bit of light on that, actually. Sure. The answer essentially comes down to, when did Essence of Thought stop talking about Rachel Oates?
Yeah, he never did. He still goes on about it.
Still is.
Even though she has nothing to do with anything.
She made a begging video for these people to stop after she had cut herself in desperation.
Exactly.
And they still have not stopped.
Do you know what happened?
Same thing applies.
Do you know what happened today when somebody says, "I'm done"? I'm done. They basically said, "I'm done. Don't talk to me." I said, "Okay, blocked." That's how I ended conversation. I'm done. Why can't they just? Everybody's blocked them, and a lot of people have. Why can't they just stop? I mean, and Feline. She says the only way to win is to continue the battle. The only alternate option is to give up, which means they win. You know what? Let them win. I don't care. I'm not in a battle with them. I don't care whether they win or lose. I want them to stop hurting my friends. That's it. And I think the best way to do that as a community is to just not talk to any of these people. I mean, I don't know what else I can answer. I've done it a million times. Reds has gone out of his way to answer it. All they're looking for right now is drama and pain. They want to harm.
The thing is that I was aware of Moon's situation and that she was getting death threats and shit like that. And for some reason, I did not consider that before having this conversation with Thoughts by Jay, which, by the way, Jay, you did a fantastic job. That's totally on me, by the way. That's totally on me. So being that I feel a little bit of a dick because of the shit that Moon's been going through, I want to make sure that Moon knows that I'm willing to just say, you know what, enough's enough, because I hate seeing you like this. I have the highest amount of respect for you. I don't like seeing anyone this hurt, to be completely honest with you, and I hate the fact that it's gotten this bad. But if you say, you know what, Red, I think it would be better to just say enough is enough, and I go back to filming Rockets the very next day.
There's actually something about this that I think is a little bit unfair.
Well, let Moon.
I want to let Moon answer, but I want to say that I think this is a little bit unfair to her, because you two have had a grudge with these people for years, and now you're asking a new person who is not in an emotion, who is currently in an emotional state, to make a decision for you.
Yeah, no. That's a good point, but it's asking her what she thinks Moon should do, Red should do, not herself. She could continue on. but I think Reg is trying to be polite here and asking her.
Oh, he is.
respect
I agree. He's trying to.
so-
He's trying to be polite. I mean no
Sure,
malice by
Do you
that.
want
I
to
don't
take
think
time to think about it, Moon? You don't have to answer right now. There's no pressure on that by any means.
No,
or answer in private, maybe.
Yeah.
No, I don't need time. I know I support you guys, and I support the fact that there needs to be a discussion around ending Steve being called a rape apologetic. I support that. I don't think that needs to stop. I am having a moment in time. This is all this is. It's not something I can't bounce back from. It's not something I won't bounce back from. But I do want to make it very publicly clear for the people in the back who are sending me messages telling me that my project is invalid because I support Steve, and that or the thread I got today where they couldn't get to me because I have my DMs on lockdown, so they decided to publicly tweet at me telling me that they wanted to basically rape me and then kill me afterwards. And then also to the people who are sharing those tweets and mocking me and Steve in those tweets and mocking the situation. And I just want to make it myself very clear to you guys. I have filed a police report. I don't take these threats lightly. Having my name called out, my real name and my real location called out and telling me to watch my back, you're damn right I called the police. I have called the police. I've done an incident report on both of the threats. So go ahead. Go ahead. Keep going. Keep going. I have no problem pressing charges. I don't have any problem pressing charges whatsoever. I don't. Yeah. I did not get to put my rapist in jail at all. I mean, the person who raped me was set free. And I'll go ahead and tell you, Steve's been alluding to a person whose dad was in jail for 5 years. That's me. My dad was put in jail for 5 years when I was a kid for a rape he did not do. And I was raped. So am I a rape apologist and a victim? And Steve has kept that.
Does that work?
So Steve has kept that to himself and never said that that was me he was talking about. He's always said a friend. And this is not how I wanted my story to come out. I wanted it to come out in the project because I felt like it was important for everybody to hear all sides. And because I've experienced both sides, I wanted to be able to show both sides. I felt like I had the knowledge and the information to be able to present both sides. But instead of people respecting that, no, because you hate Steve, you have to shit on me and you have to shit on my project. And then you don't even take into consideration that outside of Twitter and YouTube, I have a real life with real shit going on. I had surgery a week ago today. I am in a separation right now with my husband from 11 years. And I have got real shit going on in my real life. You have no idea how vulnerable I am. I just want you to stop. Just fucking stop already. What are you trying to get me to a breaking point where I want to kill myself? Because that's not going to happen. I'm not going to kill myself because you have a hate boner for Steve.
Yeah.
I would probably say, yeah, for some of these people, yes. That is their goal. They want to hurt Steve as much as possible. And if that happened to you, that would hurt Steve incredibly.
So
and they would
view don't harm yourself.
Success. And their response to Steve, if that happened, their response to Steve would be, well, then maybe you shouldn't have treated a victim that way. And maybe you shouldn't be a rape apologist.
They're exactly right. So don't ever hurt yourself. But that's what they would do. I know that's what they would say.
The irony in this is they are coming at Steve so hard about being a rape apologist, but haven't even come out publicly to denounce what is happening to me that they know about. Mm-hmm. And instead, they're hiding behind these veiled threats, sending me private messages saying, we don't condone this. If you don't condone it, then say it publicly. Don't hit me up in DM and ask me questions about what I'm going through. Outright go out in the public and say, what is happening is not okay, because I did that. This morning in the early stream, I made it very clear what is happening to me If people within our community are using what's happening to me to go and bully these other people, I do not condone that. And if I find out you're doing it, you're not my friend anymore. Why can't they do that? Why? What's
Because
happening to me is so wrong. Yeah, and like
Damn
science
right it is.
first, that bullshit he publicly tweeted. Well, what's happening to Moon is deplorable, but no, like I said this morning, what's happening to Moon is deplorable. Hard stop.
Yeah.
There is no but.
Well, it wasn't. It was. You know, what's funny is, and I don't mean it in funny as in a comical way, but he would say, you know, what's happening to Moon, but it's bad enough having the but the but was, oh my God, what the hell's wrong with you? When he tried to make it about him, claiming something that wasn't the case, by the way. But it was just like, how are you in the world making this about you at this moment? But this is what I see all the time. They make things about them, but it's. You know, I don't even know. I mean, I'm just fucking speechless at these fucking idiots at this point.
And to be clear, I've never tried to make this about me. I
No,
simply
I
wanted
know.
to fucking do a project.
They tried to claim in the chat, the 5-hour hangout when I was talking to Science First, that I was making the Warden case about me.
Yeah. Listen. I take the criticism that Chesh gave me to heart. So, Moon, I want you to know that I'm not trying to put more on your plate or anything like that. Oh, she left. Fuck.
She probably just dropped. She'll be back in a second.
Then let me
probably.
I'm gonna give you my publical. I don't call you out much, Reds. I'm gonna publicly do it for one time, I think ever. It's not even call out. It's just
do my drawers and put my ass right by the screen.
I'll tell you it's not even call out. It's just telling my opinion. I think that you doing these discussions with them is a very horrible idea. I think that is exactly what they want, and if you do it, then they're going to continue with what they're doing because they're realizing that they're getting results. If you block them, if everybody else blocks them, everybody it does not engage with them, and just says you guys are horrible, toxic people, and be done with them. We could be done with them, and we can move on to other things because we do not want to continue with them. So I think that is the most viable option, and I think that. But that's my opinion. So.
Fred, go talk to Moon, but I got something I want to jump in on that after you're done.
All right, I'll come back to you then. Moon, you dropped for a second there, so
I did. Yeah.
I want to just repeat what I was saying and then have you have a chance to respond. My goal in asking you this is not to try and put more on your plate because I know you have a fucking enough on your plate already. I mean, dear fucking God. My goal in asking you this is just to make sure that you're comfortable with whatever's going on, at least with my actions when it comes to this really shitty issue. So
yes.
If you feel as though you can't answer that question, that's fine. If you feel like you need some time to answer it, that's fine. If you just want to, remove yourself from the situation and let me decide for myself, fine. I don't want to put any pressure on you as possible. My reasoning for asking you was because I don't want to be one of the reasons why you're dealing with even more shit.
I appreciate that. No, I think you should continue. I think that it's important. And I think that I can handle it. Yes, I'm emotional. I'm going through a lot, but I'll be okay. I will be okay. But yeah, I think it's important. And I don't want there to be a stop because of what's happening to me either. I want you guys to do what you guys need to do to help get this handled, right? I'm trying to find the
well. I mean, I've already given
my
opinion. The way I think it's best, and I'm just going to put it out for your evaluation, is I think the best way to get it to stop is that everybody in the community just blocks these people and never talks to them and just says, "You guys are toxic people. Stay away from us." I don't know what else, because that's what a lot of people have done already, but probably not enough. But that's my opinion. But
Mr. Serious makes an interesting point. He says, "I want to expose them." Expose the dishonesty of each and every one of them. Get it in the public. The narrative needs to change, and they should be ashamed.
And I understand that sentiment.
Well, there's an interesting point to that. The question and that's part of kind of what we were doing a little bit on Caffeine Corner, is explaining to people how to recognize this shit when somebody is pushing. We just didn't use them as examples because fuck those people.
Yeah.
So like all of the
things they want attention.
Disease apply to all of these people. It's just a matter of sussing out which ones are which and which sock account are they using today. Like Dick did the other day with MMA, with the Insidious Vids.
Yeah. Yeah, Insidious Vids, who used to be a friend of mine, who used to be a supporter of the channel. He exposed himself as one of the trolls.
If it would be productive. Sorry, Reds, are you having conversations with these people? What was that Steve was saying? I came in late.
I'm sorry, I don't understand the question.
She's asking you. Reds had put a challenge out there to debate Demi, and I think it's a very bad idea.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The Demi. I saw a thing on Twitter where Demi was either on Instagram or I don't fucking know what app, but anyway, she was calling you out, and so I said, well, since you're of the opinion that calling out is perfectly fine, then fine. I go ahead and call you out. Let's go ahead and have a debate on the Modern Day Debates channel, and it will be under two conditions. One is that it is on Modern Day Debates because I think he's a neutral party and will not tolerate bullshit narrative. I think he will only allow evidence to speak forward, and that's something I would like. And two, that the proceeds of the debate will go to the Innocence Project.
That's actually kind of funny.
I like the second part. The first part, I don't think James really steps in too much, so I don't think he's really going to be.
I would think that you need a bit of a stronger moderator.
I do too, if you do it. But here's the thing: if Red decides to go do it, even though I've given him my advice that I think it's a very, very bad idea. Do you know what happens if he does do it? Go with God, right? People think that, oh my God, Reds has to do everything Steve says. No, we listen to each other's opinions here, and then we fuck off and do something completely different. But that's okay.
I mean,
unless it's me, my word is law.
We have to listen to Goblin Queen, yeah.
No. The reason why I wanted to do that was because, I mean, Demi's not very good at this.
No,
I get that. I get that, but
because of that, she seems to be of the opinion that rhetoric and just baseless opinions and assertions count as evidence against somebody. Unfortunately, I have actual solid argumentation that to this day has not been debunked by anybody.
What technically can't be, really. I mean, you're kind of playing with a loaded deck if you want my opinion. It's kind of unfair, but
listen, Steve, do me a favor. Shut your face hole. With Demi has access to whatever the fuck Nate Brody has. Demi has access to whatever the fuck Heretic has. Demi has access to whatever the fuck any of them have. So Demi will have a time. We'll have a time frame to go to them and gather as much shit as they can and try to put it in at least a coherent package. That is the challenge I'm setting out for Demi. And
can we make her debunk Colony and Ogilvy first? Can we put a caveat that says we would love
think that's
to
a good idea.
If you can do this, then there's a discussion worth having, and we can have that discussion. But you need to be able to debunk this video first.
At least a preliminary, yeah. And Jeff makes a good point. He says, "Do you remember when James Dearly didn't stop science first when he continually shouted over Reds for 90 minutes?" Yeah, he did. I watched that, and he didn't.
And this is something that, of course. But listen, I'm not going to Modern Day Debates because I think he's the best moderator on the goddamn planet. I'm actually in agreement with you guys. I'm suggesting Modern Day Debates because one, he's neutral, and two, they might actually show the fuck up. Because any moderator that I would see, the best moderator for this is Sean Hufford. Sean Hufford does not give a flying fuck. He moderates. Yeah.
No,
Sean would be a moderator, but they won't allow Sean Hufford to be a moderator because Sean Hufford has a bias and because he's my friend.
Yeah, Nick is not going to be a moderator on MDD, I don't think.
Well, just on any channel. I was asking that if Reds was doing this on whatever channel they ended up deciding to do it on, would Nick be a suitable moderator? I was just throwing out.
Yeah, I mean, he's a suitable moderator.
I would have no problem with Nick being a moderator. I honestly think the best moderator for the job would be Sean Hufford, because Sean Hufford's moderating skills are second to none. However, I don't think they're going to go for that because they think they're going to get the short end on the stick. Even though if you look at the debate that he moderated between Jaronism and me, he suggested that Jaronism cut the shit and start pushing evidence for his model. Didn't, but still allow him to say what he had to say. He still allowed him his say in the debate, even though he was engaged in some debate, but not that particular one by the count of his spiel. So I honestly think Sean Hufford is the best person for this job, but they're not going to allow Sean Hufford to do this because they're scared that they're going to get the short end of the stick.
Well, like I said, I've already given you my opinion on it, so...
I accept your opinion. And by the way, if the majority of the opinion is that, hey, listen, I think that having a debate about this is going to do more harm than good, then I totally get that, because I don't want to put any more shit on anyone else's plate. I just want the fucking narrative to be known as that.
Can I give you my argumentations against it real quick? Because I got two main points.
Sure.
Okay, first point.
Hey, before you get into that, I have to go. I am back at work, and no matter what, I have a conference call in 15 minutes that I have to be on, but I'll talk to you guys
we
later.
love you, Moon. We got your back no matter what.
I love y'all too.
Touch base later.
All right.
Bye.
All right, so Reds, two things. One, everything's already been said about this. There's nothing to ever come out in the wash. Anybody who wants any information, it's all out there. They can come to me. There's just nothing to be gained by it whatsoever. And the second thing is, all Demi wants is attention. She wants to feel vindicated and validated and accepted as a true debater and somebody of the community when she's not. And I think that by you giving her an actual debate on moderator debate, she's going to think she's a lot more legitimized than she ever could be, because she's just a toxic individual. She just wants to harm people. Now, by the way, people may not know this, but Anna Arner was on my channel before people knew who she was. This was like 2 years ago. And,
well, why do you think she ended up talking to the McCrazies?
Yeah,
she got exposed to them because they only knew who she was and went to go talk to her because they knew she was Machiavellian and was talking to you. They targeted her. They succeeded.
Yeah, and exactly. They did target her. And she is easily manipulated. I will address this comment that you hid, which is fine. But I'll address it like Reds did. Steve doesn't want the topic discussed because he knows he's in the wrong in what he said. This has been discussed to death. If I'm in the wrong about something, I will admit to them in the wrong. But I made it very clear, and all that other side has done is taken what I said and try to narrate it and try to change it and try to say things that I never said or nor even cared to say. And so, no, there's nothing. Anything that comes out of this debate, all it's going to do is make more fodder for them. That's it.
If
fodder.
anybody wants to know why I blocked them right out the gate, is because these interactions don't exist on a bubble. She was on Twitter saying that I was fucking my dog.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Jesus Christ!
You see this when we're saying that these are toxic rape apologist people. We're not underselling this. Matter of fact, again, the people that came in last night, the people who are saying, I hope Chesh gets raped. Those kind of people, they're in that group because they were in the same group when Jay Brown was having a discussion. Sure as shit, they showed up right behind these people. That's not a coincidence. They're the ones that are saying, I hope Steve's daughter gets raped or Steve's daughter's rapist. This is not a coincidence. They don't give a shit about the issue. They give a shit about harming me. That's why I'm saying you don't debate drama. You debate, things of some kind of substance, some kind of, like, let's debate science, debate philosophy. Go back to debating evolution, for God's sake. But you don't debate fabricated drama, and Demi's drama is fabricated drama, and I'm against debating that kind of stuff. I never have.
I mean, we're getting to the point where this has devolved into actual death threats and threats, and I mean, holy fucking shit.
Well, what you guys had already said is that if they wanted to debate the topics or they wanted to talk about the topics, then there could be conversation to be had. You might end up disagreeing about the topics, but what happens when you disagree about a topic? You talk about the
They'll
topic,
let them
and
do
then
that on
what
their
you
own shows. What they got to do with me? I don't give
you agree no, I'm talking about before.
Okay.
If they cared about the topics and didn't just have a hate boner to try and bring you down, they would be discussing the topics. They don't need to talk about you to talk about the topic.
Yeah,
you
I
can
agree
talk
with
about the topic. You can decide, you know what, I disagree with Steve and I'm going to continue on my merry way. You know what was a really good example of this? R and Raw, Matt Dillahunty. They disagree with Steve. And that either maybe because they either misunderstand or misrepresent his position, or they don't know enough about the topic, or they just straight up disagree with him for valid reasons. And that's fine. They don't have to agree. They don't have to disagree, but you don't see Steve going after Aaron and Matt and trying to smear their fucking names across a community. You also don't see Matt and Aaron trying to smear Steve across a community. Doesn't
some maybe. I don't know if you can make that statement.
Some shit about you incorrectly, but they're still talking about the arguments. They're not talking about your character.
No. Moon, you don't need to apologize for any breakdown. You don't need to make any apologies.
By no means, no. Nothing to apologize for.
Not anything. You don't need to
not
apologize.
A damn thing.
Sorry, just had to.
Yeah, no, of course.
Exactly. What I'm saying is
I get what you're saying. But they're not doing character assassassination like these people are. I get it. And I'm not character assassinating Aaron. I've already said many times, I have the utmost respect for Aaron.
Yeah.
I just think he's fundamentally wrong on his philosophy.
That's what adults do. We don't agree on the topic. You had Aaron on, and you just didn't talk about the topic because there were other things to be discussed.
Well, yeah, but you know that the same group is whispering in Aaron's ear, right? The same group's telling him such a horrible person I am. Same group telling Matt Dillon did the same thing. These are fact. These are not isolated things in a bubble, right? So they were already trying to be turned against me, and they were using that whole atheism agnostic thing as a leverage to try to turn people against me. I get that. I know this. But, why don't we ask, we have like 175 people in the community here watching, and I'm assuming that a lot of the haters are watching too, but whatever. What as a community do you guys want to do? I'm going to start with Jay Brown. Jay Brown.
We asked on Monday, yeah.
Because we were trying to get the community together, and I think this is the perfect time because you're all here. So I'm going to ask the live chat. But Jay Brown, what do you think we should do first to get it to Heretic, Nate, all those guys? Just shut the fuck up about all this stuff forever and just be done with it. There's nothing to add. There's nothing to be had. At this point, it's just harassment of me and my friends. There's nothing to be gained for any discussion on it.
I mean, I'm definitely seeing the argument here. So, no. Jay, what do you say?
Honestly, I think that for the most part, you guys, the main core of the community, needs to just move on from it and let it go.
I would love to do that. I want nothing to do with these people. We tried moving on from them years ago. We wanted nothing to do with them, and they kept coming back. It's like it's like the worst case of jock itch you ever had in your life. It just
we've tried to drop rape apologetics for months, and it disappeared for a couple of months, and then it came back.
Yeah, it's just like it just flares up again when Nate's running this with his narrative. Demi's running the narrative. What do we do?
I'll tell you why. The reason why it disappeared and flared up is because it took them that many months to be able to try and spin a narrative and an argument off of how badly they got destroyed.
They did, they got destroyed initially, yeah.
Well, that, and they were also looking for somebody to help drum that, and
they found Demi
again.
Yeah.
Between Demi and just wait.
And Joe, they found
probably
Joe
a month
too.
Or two. You'll probably see Unirock.
He's already doing that too. So they found Unirock, they found Demi, they found Sipping Tea with Joe. They'll find people. That's a given. It's a big internet, right? I'm going to find people too that's going to side with this side. But what do you?
Here's the thing: is the rest of the community, the smaller ones of us, we have to do our due diligence to research and find it out ourselves as well. We can take your guys' input and say, this is what they're telling you. This is what the narrative is. We need to go look at their videos and be like, okay, I can see where the narrative is coming from. And then if there's any further clarifications, we should come to you privately and say...
I have no problem with that. Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
But here's my only pushback is there. If you want to do that, knock yourself out. I only ask, don't involve me. I mean, you can ask me in private, but
exactly. That's where I was going. We have to do our diligence and then ask privately.
But I don't know what there is to even do diligence on. What do you want to learn? What I don't know.
I'm just more or less trying to find out their character, find out what there is, to see the progression as it went on.
I get it. I totally get it. So, yeah. I don't think there's anything bad with that, I guess.
Yeah, but there's also a few other layers to this, in that I don't think it's the subject that really matters. If we stop talking about the subject, it's not going to stop the hate. It's not going to stop the.
They'll find something else to hate on later.
Yeah,
sure, but
Steve, in the future, you are going to do something or interview someone or say something or whatever, and it might be the most mind-numbing subject known to mankind, like fuck the definition of atheism. But that
like rocket launches, right? No, I'm kidding.
That's going to be the catalyst for the next wave of shit.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I don't think it's the subject that is causing a shit show. I think it's, just their amazing hatred for you, which, by the way, I have to say, I am legit impressed.
Right?
Actually, yeah, Godless Scummer makes a really good point. The hate boner for Steve actually does bring people together. These people that we're talking about were calling Unirock a racist, and Unirock was calling out them until then it was just the hatred for Steve, where they've just come together like a family of assholes.
And I'll throw this out there. Anybody who thinks that these people that are going after me, going after Chess, Reds, Moon, and the rest, they're the same kind of people that will go after anybody. Anybody, your friends, your family, it doesn't matter. They're dangerous.
Now I'm conflicted. I'm conflicted on whether or not I should now actually go through with it. I mean, I'm conflicted on whether or not I should have this debate and give it like one last hurrah. And because it seems like, even though the victory is pretty much in the bag when it comes to the debate standpoint, will it only fuel even more bullshit on Twitter, and will it only lead to more death threats, more harassment, more threats of rape and shit like that? I mean, is it actually worth it?
Well,
is the victory actually worth it?
What does the live chat say on that? Helios $5. These people are literally human for herpes, unsightly, and you never get truly cured of them. They just go into remission for a bit and they pop back up for 3 fucking years.
I want to hear what Dick has to say. Dick, do you have any suggestions?
Why is it always about the Dick?
What we should do? With me, it's always about Dick.
Okay, I can see why. I love his hair.
It'd be nice if he unmuted himself.
That'd be a good start.
Nick's new to this.
So,
Dick's new to this.
What do you all think of that? I want to ask Jay.
No, we can't hear you.
Dick, did you break your shit?
Yeah, I just
check your plug. Check your plugs.
I just want to ask it. Well,
he's gonna drop and come back in. Go ahead.
Okay.
So I wanted to ask Jay about that first. So Jay, when it comes to what I just got done saying, what say you?
It really is your call, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
And Anti-Ordinary, from the videos I've seen of her, they're very sporadic. She doesn't stay on topic well, and you're basically going to be arguing her emotional state versus what evidence you bring to it.
I agree with that.
Can you hear the typing?
We got.
Hey,
you there,
am I
Dick.
back?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Just to finish up my thought, though, really quick here.
Yeah.
You could bring the most damning evidence of fact on your side. If she's against you emotionally, you're not going to get through to her at all. She's now going to have this hate boner for Steve and everybody else that associates with him. So.
Well, I don't think the intent is to get through to her. I think it's to show other people.
What
that
do you mean? She said that she's going to fix her shit if she got anything incorrect. But
she
while she's talking about how Steve still has something to prove in the court of law.
I'm going to say she's outright bullshitting in that, because I have a video from 2 years ago where I corrected her logic. I mean, this is logic. By the way, she thinks she knows more about philosophy and logic than I do. Fine. I'm not a logic expert, but I know some basics that I guarantee she doesn't know shit about. And she's going around telling people that she knows more about this stuff tonight. We corrected her logic. I mean, you can go back and check it. It's logic. She didn't correct it. So I just think that she's bullshit on that.
Dick Dawson, what do you have to say?
Well, when it comes to these attacking trolls and stuff, right? This is what I said in the chat earlier, and I really, really think that this is something that would actually be somewhat productive in this situation. But, and this is not no mass flagging crap and other BS that, some little parties play when they get together in a certain Discord server. But instead of always arguing back and whatnot with these people like some of us do, and I mean, I'm damn guilty at this, absolutely, right? But maybe it's time to just type the word troll and flag it. Type the word troll and flag it, and just don't give them a platform for the narrative anymore. Does anybody think this could work?
I'm down with that, to be honest with you.
Oh, thanks, Intrigue V-Line. That was another person who was accusing me of bestiality.
Yeah, these people don't care. You see what we're talking about. Nothing you do is going to get through to them.
Shit.
And by the way, Reds, I'm just going to throw this out there. If I remember correctly, you said the last debate you had was a one and done, and you weren't going to do another one, if I'm not mistaken. Now I'm not going to hold you to that. I'm not going to throw that card out there.
Something I would say that does sound like something I would say. Like, after this, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. And you know what? You're probably right about that. And you know what?
I think I am
about it.
Yeah,
I think there is value in what Reds is trying to do. I don't necessarily think it's a bad idea. I just think that there should be a caveat. I think there needs to be just like a little bit more justification than she made some really poorly done video. If she needs to demonstrate that she actually has an argument to bring to the table to have a debate. How about we debate? How about
you debate this? If Demi is just a drama whore.
No. That's no.
Why?
Because that's not the point. The point isn't.
But she is, and that's all it is going to be.
That's fine. That's a bad idea, and it's a bad idea because there's no value in that.
And I don't think there's any value of debating her on this. But go ahead.
There is if she has a point. That's why I'm saying there needs to be a caveat to it. If you put the caveat on that says, "Go and find an issue with our Calumny Obloquy video." If you can find a single issue that has not been addressed yet, that has not been clarified, and you can debunk anything inside of that video, then there will be something worth talking about. Up until this point, the only thing she has is conjecture. And
there's the same thing on every other video with me too. It's all conjecture.
There's nothing to debate.
She would say that this is a foregone conclusion kind of thing, and it was all be conjecture. I don't deal with conjecture.
Todd says Reds is coming out of the retirement because someone's wrong on the internet.
Oh boy, I remember.
I saw that comment.
Here's my honest. Here's what I was trying to do.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't trying to show Demi that she's wrong. That's not my goal.
Yeah.
My goal is to just show how inept they are. That they had all of these heavy hitters on their side, and apparently their DMs are open. I mean, Nate made a feature in Demi's video, so they must be close enough to at least share a bit of information. Demi has all the time in the world to come up with the best possible case to back up her assertion. And I will go ahead and debate her on that assertion. My assertion is that the evidence is flimsy at best. In the most wildest, most spectacular light. When it comes to Steve McRae being a rape apologist, their evidence for that is flimsy at best.
I would say
when it comes to what I would say as a counter, what I would come with is actual examples, actual evidence to show that Steve McRae was not only not engaging in rape apologetics, but that if you took what they're trying to do to its natural conclusion, they would be defining themselves as rape apologists at the exact same time, unknowingly. Yeah. They accuse people of using traumatic experiences as a weapon, where, if I remember correctly, you're not the one that brought up rape. They did. They were the ones that set this initial bullshit train into motion.
Yeah, you had a conversation about police auditing.
That's all I ever wanted to be.
And so at no point was anybody ever using a victim until they decided to come along and talk about this situation.
Have I ever made a video talking about people? Have I made a video of, oh, this person, is a rapist. Let me show you why he's not a rapist. Have I ever made a video like that?
No.
No.
Wouldn't you think a rape apologist would do something like that? I mean, it makes no sense. I mean, this is what I'm saying.
Are you saying that a rape apologist has to apologize for rape?
Jesus.
What?
Wow, crazy talk, You know?
Can for anybody out there that's a little bit iffy on rape apologetics, rape apology, rape apologist, and what the true essence of the term really means, I urge you to go and watch the movie The Accused. It is a fantastic depiction of exactly what this is when they get to the court stuff and the people that are accused of raping the girl start doing but did you see the way she was dancing and see the way she was dressed and whatnot? That is rape apology. Get it right, people.
Exactly. Exactly. That would be.
Now, makes you think that the other person is a liar, or if you think that people don't get falsely accused. Have you ever seen the movie To Kill a Mockingbird?
Yeah, I know the book.
Yep.
Yeah, it's very.
Or better yet, they recently made a movie literally just called Brian Banks.
Mm-hmm.
And I recommend people go watch it.
Let me ask you this: if it was Nate Brody, if I was Nate Brody, and the exact same thing, only instead of being me, Nate Brody was sitting here, do you think they would give a fuck?
Not a chance.
Not a fucking chance. That's all that needs to be said. There is no debate. There is no discussion. That's the God honest truth. It doesn't matter about the topic. That's why I see no validity to have a discussion on it again, because it doesn't matter about the topic. It is about they're trying to attack me. So why talk about a topic like that? The topic is, if you want to have a debate with something, why don't you talk about why they're attacking me? Why they're attacking my friends, and why they're fostering a toxic environment that's leading to my friends being gone after like Moon.
If you want a good example, like we can't speak on the threats that Moon has been getting because we don't know who sent those. But what we can speak on is Agrippa. Agrippa,
who
actively has attempted Red stupid puppy.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
Yeah,
Stupid
the one
puppy.
that keeps peeing on the couch. Yeah. Agrippa has actively tried to dox multiple people, and he's been condoned and validated,
embraced
by these people, and encouraged to do so by these people. He tried to dox Stewart. He tried to dox and threaten somebody else, who I won't name because I don't want to push that forward at all any further. He tried and failed miserably to dox Steve, which was really actually funny. All the while claiming that, making the same kind of claims that we all have sock accounts and we're all doing this and we're all doing that. When he got caught forgetting to switch accounts, same thing that
legit happened.
That was amazing.
Now, how many sock accounts has that guy had? How many times has he been IP banned?
On his own thing, when he got banned, his last account that just got banned, when he was saying, "Hey," what he said underneath was, "Hey, it's my 5th account. Let's see if it lasts till. Can I make it to February?"
Yeah.
The answer was no.
Nope.
He could not make it to February.
Look, how many times has he been IP banned? Keon's been IP banned. Then we found out just recently that Insidious Viz was on one of those horrific troll accounts. I'm not even say parody, but troll accounts. And so they're the ones that we're saying that we're doing this. This is all projection. It's that side that does it, and we've witnessed it. Dick watched it. He saw it the other day. We watched it before numerous times. So they got no leg to stand on. It's all projection.
No. It was so bad, Steve. Reds, everybody, thoughts, Chesh. It was so bad that he posted the tweet, deleted it instantly because I tried to reply, and you get that thing where you can't. And then 3 tweets down in the home feed, he posted almost the same one word for word.
On a
you
different
can't
account.
make this shit up, man.
Exactly. Busted, right?
Well, let me
Yes,
go
Insidious Vids. We know you have
yeah.
troll accounts now. Good job.
Failed at engineering $5. Personal opinion after debate with Reds AO. We'll pick someone else and after topic and run with it for views and notoriety. She won't stop. She's harmful.
Thank you, Manya. I agree with you 1,000%. She's not going to ever drop it, and you're going to be the first rung of that ladder, and she'll just continue.
She's already trying to run the transphobia angle, which by the way,
she's already sucked up to Mr. Atheist there, Reds.
When she's already actively gone ahead and said that, oh, well, I would never do this and I would never run this angle, and people who run this angle are disgusting to try and use trans people like that.
Let me.
That was thrown at us on the shells. It was thrown at me personally in a tweet. And I said, please go back into the show, find a timestamp where any one of the shills or Cheshire mentions anything to do with trans being an issue with the arguments being presented. It fell on deaf ears. Are you kidding me?
Yep.
Let me.
They're just weaponizing these things.
You guys, and all of you guys in live chat are making really good points. There is something else that I wanted to address real quick.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I've gotten a few DMs saying that there's now threats against me, and apparently this is revolving around the Fiona issue, and they said that I need to come clean about the lie that has been said about Fiona, and otherwise some shit's gonna happen.
Oh, you're getting threatened.
Yeah, so I'm not going to do that. Instead, what I'm going to do is double down. See, here's what happened. There was only 2 people that met Fiona at the airport. It was me and my now ex-girlfriend, Hannah. I knew that Fiona was going to be very excited to see me. I didn't expect a fucking kiss on the lips. I was freaked out and I was uncomfortable. There probably is images of when me and Fiona first met. And I bet you I am smiling. I bet you it looks like I'm having a grand old time, but you can't read my thoughts from those images. No one can. People smile just before they're found dead the next day after putting a bullet in their fucking head. You can't read their fucking mind from a goddamn picture.
Can I ask you, Reds? Because
no, Steve.
Okay.
Shut the fuck up, because
Go ahead.
I need to say this. I have held off on saying that thing. I've held off on it and held off on it and held off on it. But at some point, the hypocrisy became so bad against Steve McRae that I had to say something. So if people want to say that, well, you're just using this as a weapon, no, I'm using it as an example. I'm not calling what Fiona did assault. I'm not even saying that she meant anything nefarious when she did that. She was happy to see me. And afterwards, it wasn't really that big of a deal. But at the time, I was a little bit freaked out, to say the least. And people are coming to me saying, well, you're this 6'6" guy, and, you know, why didn't you? I'm not going to punch an old lady, you dumbass. So no, I don't take back what I said about being uncomfortable. I was freaked out. You don't get to dictate to me how I was feeling at the time. And you know what? I have had a bit of enough of this shit, because that's not the first threat that I've gotten from this. I've gotten threats from my now ex-girlfriend that was given out by Holy Spackle. And it said something along the lines of, I don't want to be involved. I don't want anything to do with it. But if this type of shit persists, I'm going to release, quote, a tsunami of information that Red's rhetoric would not appreciate if it got out. Well, this is my final fucking rebuttal to this, because I know where that image came from, because the only other person there was Hannah. And I know where Agrippa got his information to, because the only person that knew about it was Hannah. We had a very bad breakup, but I have tried to keep her name out of my throat. I have tried to not acknowledge her existence. I have tried over and over and over again. There was a lot of shit that happened in the past that, quite frankly, I would like to forget. I would like to forget that shit that happened in the past even fucking happened, that ever fucking occurred. I just want to move on with my fucking life. But this keeps getting brought up and used as a threat against me to keep me silent. So let me make this very fucking clear. If there is a tsunami of information out there, great. I'm fucking happy for you. But what I have in my side of things is the Tsar Bomba of information. Information that some people would also appreciate if it actually got out. What I have is a document, 20 pages long, written in 9-point font, that goes over everything that happened, along with pictures, text messages, financial receipts, and interviews of people who were actually there to witness the shit go down. Whatever you may have on me, my personal embarrassment will take a back seat if it means that I get to release this information out, so at least they know who the fuck they're talking to and who the fuck or what the fuck they're getting themselves into. I'm going to go ahead and say this. I've made my decision. I will not debate Demi. I will not debate Fiona. I will not debate Nate. I will not debate anyone for any reason on their side of things. I'm going to block them. I'm going to move on. And I am going to try to forget that they even exist. I'm going to forget about the shit that they put me through. I'm going to forget about the thousands of dollars I lost because of their nonsense. I'm going to forget with the closure that I have yet to get from not one, but 2 fucking funerals. I'm going to try my best to forget about all of it. Do not come at me sideways, because I have my own document. You don't want to know what's on it. There's been a flash drive in this safe that I have for such a rainy day that I hope never shows up. I want this shit to stop. You stay in your lane, and I will stay in mine. That has always been the deal. Fiona, the last thing I said to you was go fuck yourself, and I meant it. Hannah, the last thing I said to you was go fuck yourself, and I meant it. The last thing I said to a lot of people was go fuck yourself, and guess what? I fucking meant it there as well. I don't apologize for a goddamn thing. You don't have to apologize to me. Enough is enough. Leave me the hell alone with this shit. And you know what? I will reciprocate that respect. But if you continue to push and you wish to dox me, to demonize me, and come up with these stories about how I'm this horrible fucking person, an emotional abuser, an accessory to homelessness, a person that contributed to someone losing their car and putting $1,000 in the hole, the ruining of a funeral, the saying that I emotionally manipulate people. The very moment you start going down that rabbit hole, I have something that I can put forward that will not only debunk everything that you've said outright with interviews, receipts, pictures, text message, the whole 9 yards, but it will ruin any hope of the future of you guys having any sort of credibility. Leave me the fuck alone. Stay in your goddamn lane, and I will stay in mine. I don't want to talk to these people. I don't want to have anything to do with them. And just so people are aware, this thing took months to put together. It took a lot of shit to get what I have right now on this. I had to travel to even other states to get interviews. But I have them. And they're ready to be shared if needed. I don't want to. You have a tsunami of information, but I have the Tsar Bomba. This is called mutually assured destruction. Let's not push it that far. So leave me the fuck alone, and everyone who we have always talked about this particular group, I now want to abstain from any sort of conversation that involves them. I want to abstain from any sort of tweet that mentions them. I want to abstain from anything that has anything to do with them, period, end of story. Leave me the fuck alone. I'm going to go back to filming rockets, talking about science, debunking flat earth on the internet. I am literally just going to go back to doing the shit that I like to do. I don't like talking about this. I've never liked talking about any of this. Now it's gotten to the point where people are getting death threats and rape threats, and all because this shit has blown up to a portion I've never fucking imagined it would ever blow up to. Enough. Enough. I'm done with it, and everyone else should be too.
Agreed.
Fucking call me a pussy if you want, but I'm done with it.
Agreed. And I'm in the same boat. And by the way, no, he's not bluffing. I can testify. Everything he said is God honest truth about what he has going on. I'm going to do this. You know, I could block people in my live chat and stuff like that. That's easy. To solidify this, the people that we've talked about, this goes out to the exact same group that we're talking about: Nate, Fiona, Heretic, Laura, Exiled, Demi, all of them, Holy Spackle, Lulu, see who was the other one. It doesn't matter. That whole group, people know these names by now. I don't mean this to be any disrespectful to my friends on Twitter, because I'm not a big Twitter fan. People know that. If you want to continue with these people, by all means, you know, you're not going to affect anything with my YouTube channel. I don't want it in my timelines. I will block people that are continuing on my Twitter that are continuing with these people. And that doesn't mean that I want nothing to do with you. You're more than welcome to come around. I just want to see it on my Twitter thing. And so that's the only way that I could probably get rid of these people. As far as I'm concerned, I will be not talking about them. I don't want to talk about any of them. I don't want to talk about Fiona again. I don't want to talk about Demi again. The only ones that I may mention, obviously, is Unirock and Katie Joy, but they're not part of that crowd. They're not part of the GDC crowd. These are not people that were part of that whole thing from years ago. But everyone that was a part of that thing from years ago, I will not talk about in perpetuity. If I could get enough support, because I mean, and Reds as well, because of course, you know, there's a time where you go, okay, again, enough. They're doing shit where it's affecting our friends and Moon and friends' family. But I'm fine with never mentioning their names ever again on any platform and blocking anybody who talks to these people on
and
Twitter.
This applies across. These things don't exist in a bubble. So if people are, because we get sent that people are talking about us, people send us.
Yeah, I get that. I understand they tag.
That's not what I'm getting at.
Oh.
What I'm getting at is, because these things get sent to us, people send screenshots of who is talking in whose live chat. We know who is where and what they're saying.
Oh yeah.
These things don't exist in a bubble. If you're doing that also, I think that garners it as well. Yeah,
and I've seen people do that. That's why there's some people I just get rid of, and people ask like, well, they do. The things don't exist in a bubble. But again, I mean, I know the narrative going to be around like, oh, look, Steve's threatening to block people. Look, it's my Twitter. Who gives a shit if you're blocked on Twitter?
It's your Twitter. You can
this is my Twitter. I just don't want to. I don't
do what you want with.
I mean, it's not like I'm saying don't come around my hangouts. You're more than welcome to. It's just I don't want to see it. I'm going to make a pledge. Reg is making a pledge. We're done with it. We don't want anything to do with these toxic rape apologist people. And if you're engaging with it, I got to tell you, I think you're just adding fuel to the fire. Now, it's going to be a judgment call whether I block you or not. You know, but even Chesh, I mean, look, I removed Nick from my Twitter.
Yeah.
And I love Nick. He's my brother. I didn't block him. But I removed him because he wanted to have these conversations.
I had to do the same thing with Flappin, and I love Flappin. There's an account in here that I'm pretty sure is Keon. Their name is IKON. I'm pretty sure it's Keon. But this person says, seems like the only way to make it disappear would be to admit fault and apologize. Then the only ones that would continue are the ones who are obviously trolls. That's already the only ones that are continuing on. You've missed this is why I think you're Keon. You missed the point. Completely. Have you not been here for the past? How long have we been streaming? My God, I came in halfway through it. I knew.
Minutes. Yeah. Well, I mean, like I said, heretics of the world, nates of the world, demons of the world. It's all about the hate boners, not about anything else. So I mean,
I know if you guys actually seriously want this to stop.
Yes.
If you want this to absolutely stop, there is one answer. Don't be on the internet anymore. That is the only. Like, stop making content.
That's not a feasible alternative, though. That's like saying if you don't want to get killed in a car accident, don't drive to work. That's not a feasible answer.
Well, okay, but what I'm saying is that this is I'm driving home a point. The point is that the only way for these people to stop is for not just Steve to get off the internet. Steve has to leave the internet. Reds has to leave the internet. Jay Brown is at a position where he's probably going to have to leave the internet. I'll have to leave the internet. Moon will have to leave the internet. Dick Dawson, all of the shills are going to have to leave the internet because AT2 Productions, Sean Hufford, basically anybody, probably Nick, anybody who has had any kind of a relationship with Steve, because I guarantee you, if Steve were to shut his channel down, shut down his Facebook,
just move to you guys.
shut down his Twitter, and leave entirely.
I know they would.
They would only just continue to come after us because now they can't get to Steve through the internet.
Yeah, I know they would. I've seen them do this to other people. This is when
so the only way for them to stop is for all of us, including probably a good number of people, Sweet Heathen, a good number of people who have only involved themselves in chat. All of them have to leave the internet. That's the only way to get this to actually stop. And I want to drive that point home. We all will have to leave the internet in its entirety for this to stop.
All right, so that's clearly not a viable option. Yeah. And by the way, they keep on thinking I made a mistake. What mistake did I make? I had a person on to talk about something. That was it. That's it. Anything else is you're in your own mind. Deal with it. Get the fuck over it, to be honest with you. Get the fuck over it. Do you think that if let's say there was a mistake made or lots of mistakes made or I'm a horrible fucking human being, do you think it's worth what these fucking toxic rape apologists are doing at this point? Do you think it's worth that to point that out to the harm they're causing other people? If you do, then you're just as bad as they are.
Somebody said, or get them banned from the internet. That doesn't work.
That doesn't. Yeah, no. They keep coming back.
Agrippa, we haven't gotten anybody banned.
No, they banned them. They got their
but they have been banned before, and they just come back.
Yeah.
We just talked about that actually.
Yeah.
Red's puppy.
Keon.
5th account. Keon.
Yeah. All right. So Reds, is that good enough? I won't talk about any of these people. We'll see how it goes. You won't talk about these people. I'll even hold Chester's feet on fire.
Listen. I know it's going to be. I don't think you know exactly what I'm proposing here. It's going to be shit. They are going to continue to come after you. They're going to continue to say all this shit. They're going to continue to do everything on top of everything in order to try and get you to react. The point here is not to. Enough is enough. I'm not going to participate in the shit any longer. I am not going to talk about them or with them or debate their fucking points even. I'm going back to like what we're supposed to be doing like on Shills, which is debunking flat earth nonsense,
I'm down with that.
Science and shit like that. People who think that jelly juice can regrow limbs and shit like that.
I want to go on the Shills and do that.
I thought it would be a good idea to give this one last hurrah. But you know what? People are right, and they called me out on it. And you know what? I'm glad that people called me out on it because I said I would be done with it after this, and then I said that again after my debate with Science First. I need to actually, just be fucking done with it. And so now I'm fucking done with it.
I think we're at the point.
You mean we don't want to follow each other's orders? Is that like people think?
I think we're at the point actually where it would be reasonable. And also, side note, people who are saying that, Reds looks happy in that picture or whatever he was saying, that's actual apologetics.
That is, yeah. Well, he looked happy. He looked like he wanted to be kissed.
Yeah, they're basically victim blaming and telling the victim that, you didn't really feel this way. You're lying.
Dick,
actual apologetics.
Dick is a very attractive man, but I met him in the airport and he planted one on me. I'd be a lot freaked out, to be honest with you.
And in some people's, and people have different reactions when they're put in an uncomfortable situation. Some people are able to roll with it. Some people would slap an old lady, and some people like curl in on themselves and shut down. There are different ways that people react to this kind of thing, and there's more to this than even Reds has said.
But it's just like saying, if hey, look, he touched her leg, and she was smiling about it. Therefore, she clearly wanted it. What's the difference?
That's
apologetics.
So the second part of that is, did you lose me?
No, you're fine.
Oh, okay. My computer just hiccuped then. There's something when it comes to just going radio and silence on these kinds of people. How is that going to apply to whatever is going on later today? Because I'm pretty sure it's Wednesday that was supposed to be happening. Mm-hmm. And also, I lost my second point. Never mind.
I have like I said, I think at this point, all plans need to be adjusted to accommodate what we're saying right here, right now. Mm-hmm. My idea going forward is that, it seems to me like one of their main goals would be to have the last word. So you know what? Fine. Have the last word. Call me every name in the goddamn book. Call Steve Ray every name in the goddamn book. Say Cheshire is fucking whatever. So just get it all out of your goddamn system. And then at that point, be satisfied with yourself and move the fuck on to the next fucking thing you want to talk about.
Well, here's what's going to happen is, like, if we do this, if we decide that we are not going to mention or talk about not only these people, but these situations surrounding these people, I think that was my other point. I think we're at the point where we should no longer be accepting questions.
Oh, yeah,
this shit has been talked to death. We can't be answering questions about this anymore. We're done. Everything that has to be said, anything that needs to be clarified has already been clarified. There is no point in rehashing it, bringing it up again. So I would say that applies to chat. What I would put in for the mods, I propose this. I'm not saying do it. If anybody asks questions about it, from this point moving forward, time them out and explain to them why they're being timed out. Don't hide them. Time them out. Explain, it's not a matter of that you have to tell them before timing them out. Time them out first, explain why they've been timed out, and then they can come back. And if they come back with a say, oh, you don't want to talk about it, hide them.
Well, and share like this video or something, maybe. But yeah, I agree with you.
No, across the board. This is an across the board fucking thing. Right. If anybody comes to us with questions about rape apologetics, with accusations of lying, with the stuff that we've talked about today, all of these subjects, things that these people have been brought up, and because we know what narratives they're going to push next, we know that they're going to be talking about us. So if anybody comes to us with questions about these narratives, hide them first, explain to them why they're being hidden.
You mean not hide them? You mean time
them out? Time them out. Time them out first. Thank you for the correction, Steve. You're correct.
Hashtag Steve wasn't wrong.
Time them out. Explain to them why they're being timed out, and then, well, they're more than welcome to come back in and enjoy and talk in whatever conversation that we are currently having at the time. If they don't do that, then hide them. This is a one and done situation. If they're going to try to continue, you're done. You're not welcome here. We've already discussed it ad nauseum. If you feel like it, you are welcome to point them in the direction of this hangout or some other hangout where we're saying we are done having this conversation. If you want answers, go look at the previous videos about this. There is absolutely zero reason why at this point we should be taking any questions about this whatsoever. And what I think we should do is we keep an eye on, like, once a month or whatever, look at Steve's block list, like the one that's on Twitter. Or sorry, not the one that's on Twitter, the one that's on YouTube, and see if there's any new names that are popping up in other places. And then we just blanket block them.
I don't have a problem with that. But Helios, $10. As long as you were in the public eye or have been in the public eye, there will always be trolls who will obsessively attack you and yours. Stopping them is a non-starter, so you have to learn how to not get hurt. Yeah, I'm not worried about us, Helios. They're hurting other people, and they won't learn. You can't just say, hey, look, to the victim. Just tough it up. Learn to... to deal with it. You can't do that. And I know you don't mean it by that way, but we saw the damage it's causing to our friends. It saw the damage it's causing to Moon and to other people. Sweet, it's affected her. It's affected Chesh. It's affected Manya. It's affected too many people. No means no. So I'm with Reds on this. I'm with Cheshire on it. This is it. This is all this I'm ever going to say on it. Anybody mentions rape apologetics to me is going to get blocked on any platform. You say those words, you're done. I don't care if you're my bestie at this point. You're done.
Here is my block list. What I would recommend is that you can actually sub to that block list, and it will automatically block for you anybody that I have blocked. And it automatically updates, so you don't have to go back and look at it again. You can peruse and decide to unblock or do whatever you want with it. However, if we are actually going to do this as a community, if this is what the community decides is our answer for dealing with these people and getting them out of our lives and out of our feeds, this would be the way to do it.
Yeah. And real quick, and I know about this, and this was her story to tell, but Sweet Heathen says, they can come after me, but they've been bothering my friends and family. How fucked up is that? And this is that group. This is not just troll. This is that group that came after Sweet.
And also they're going to lash out after we do this.
Yeah, they're not going to be happy.
Be aware that they are going to lash out. It's going to get worse.
It's going to get worse before it gets better.
To escalate. They are going to try and spin more and more narratives because they know that we're no longer addressing them in their narratives.
It's already started. It's literally already started.
Yeah, they've already started doing it. It's going to.
We can predict these things.
Yeah, they're going to lash out. They're going to keep going, and they're going to try and bait us into talking about them again. I encourage the community, when you see those kinds of things, make one of two choices. Either if you think there's somebody that's actually just getting caught up in their bullshit, send them here. Or if you see people lashing out and saying this, that, and the other thing, block them. Let me know, and then I will add them to that block list. If this is what we're doing, if this is a decision that we have made, and I think we should probably do a 1 or 2 in the chat if they agree with what I'm saying in that this is what the community wants to do, or 2 in the chat if no, that's not what the community wants to do, and then we can continue the conversation.
I would like to say that I agree with that. I would very much like to move away from this in terms of, if anyone brings it up, we've already addressed it ad nauseum, just like Chesh said. We've already said our piece on it. And you know what? Some people just need to learn to agree to disagree and move the fuck on with their lives. And you know what? We got
narratives. We're not going to address new shit from them.
Yeah, I'm not even going to do. It doesn't matter what they come up with. We're not going to address anything by them ever about anything. Ever.
Anything about them at all. It's like, listen, enough is enough of this shit, okay?
Even Trina's on board. Wow, that's actually impressive.
We're like, fuck it, we're done. Enough is enough of this shit. I've been dealing with this shit for years right now, and you know what? I'm kind of like, you know what? Fuck this.
I would also make a note, there's also a secondary thing going on here. We're not just talking about these people directly. We are talking about anybody who's basically allowing these people around to push whatever narrative they're going to give. So this would include somebody like David Worley, who is, or even Shannon Q, who's allowing these people to be in their chats, who's encouraging this kind of behavior.
I'll block them all. I don't. anybody who has these people around, I want nothing to do with.
So it would involve, it would involve them. At this point, it would involve Matt Dillahunty.
This is why I separated myself from, the geek room.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So I have no problem. I'm done with it.
Moniker, that's the word I was looking for last time.
Yeah. I have my block list here. How do you get and I have it exported. There's a button. I remember seeing a button where you just press one button and people can just block.
It used to be. It doesn't exist anymore.
Can you send me that list so I can just import it into mine? It would save me a lot of.
I just put it. I don't care anymore. I'll put it. That's my block list. My block list is 270 people.
Hold on, I'll send
267 people.
Dick, if you can click this link and if you hit sub, it will if you subscribe to the list, it will automatically block all the people that are on my block list for you.
Kick ass.
But remember we told you it's going to get worse before it gets better? It already has. So everybody's witnessing in real time that we're right on this. So I appreciate it.
I can actually I'll do the footwork for you
guys. Give me a wrench too.
But I've got. Does Reds not have a wrench in here?
I have no idea. He's never around here.
I can do I'll do the footwork for everybody. I will go and I will get Steve to send me his block list. I will get Reds to send me his block list. I'll get everybody to send me their block lists. I will go through and make sure they are all conducive. All of them are all now together at that point. And so everybody's got the same fucking people blocked. There's people are going to see that they're actively this is what we are now finally doing, an active push together. At no point have we ever done like any targeted attacks.
Nope.
This is not an attack. This is a defense. We are now we are now collectively, because I want to explain this, because this is going to be a narrative that's going to pop up, and I'm going to explain it now before we end up getting things that will probably be legitimate questions. This is not an attack against them. We're not telling people to go out and report them. We're not telling people to flag their stuff.
Nope,
what we're saying is we are building a wall as a community, and we are annexing these people from our community. We don't want them around, and we are not going to allow them around. This is a wall that collectively, as the community, as ourselves, the community has spoken. It was ones the whole way down. The community has spoken. It's not Steve's decision. It wasn't my decision. It wasn't Dick or Red's or even Moon's decision. The community has spoken. They're done with you people. We don't want to deal with you anymore. And this is the community building a wall and kicking you the fuck out.
Yes.
Amen.
Amen.
And I think the community has spoken. So.
Yeah, it seemed like a good idea at first, but at this point, I'm like, nope, fuck this. I'm kind of out. So I would say, yeah, let's just make it so that.
So what does that say about later today's stream?
Well, we still got to do that. That's about Kyle tonight. So, but I said about Unirock, right? Unirock wasn't even part of the original GDC.
Well,
so.
I can't wait to see this.
That's what I was saying. It involves anybody who's associating with these people and pushing these narratives. That would include Unirock.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. But I agree with that.
If you want to know my opinion, my opinion, it's I honestly think that the stream should honestly be canceled because it doesn't fucking matter. We have the court is on our side. It's literally just a waiting game at this point. Who gives a flying fuck what they say?
You know
got
what?
A good point, Reds.
Sush when Red makes a good point, it's like fuck, right? Because it's
there's one legitimate reason to
I would put my hand was like I'm gonna put proverbial money where my mouth is. I don't care about the money, but I legit want to be done with all these people, including fucking Unirock.
Mm-hmm.
And so I will delete and not do the stream tonight.
I think there's.
I will. I may. Oh, hang on. Let me reply. I might address. I still got to address certain things with Kyle, maybe, but I'm not. I don't want to talk about Unirock. Is that okay?
No, absolutely not. No. Nothing needs to be.
Guess who's talking to those people, and we know who's been talking to those people. Fucking Kyle.
Nothing needs to be done with Kyle or anything like that.
You make a good point here. So.
The court's already on our side. It's literally just a weighing game. It doesn't fucking matter what they. If he really had something to say, he should have been saying it to the fucking judge in the first place.
There is one valid reason that I would say is a valid reason. I don't think it's a good enough reason to bother, but I think that it is a valid reason, and it is because people don't want to watch Unirock, but they want to see what Kyle has to say, and they want our input about it. I think that's a valid reason.
It could be on another channel. I don't have to do it on mine. I don't give a fuck.
No. Let me finish. There is that is one valid reason that people might have for wanting us to do that. However, Reds is correct. Everything that's been addressed and everything that's going to be addressed has already been addressed, and we know exactly where this stuff is coming from. There is no point.
Yeah.
So, and the only thing that Uni's going to get from this is a boost in viewers for that one stream. Do we give a shit?
No.
So if you want to suffer through it, you want to watch Kyle, you want to suffer through Kyle, and you want to suffer through Unirock, you're going to have to make that sacrifice and suffer through listening to Unirock talk over Kyle and basically present the whole thing himself. And Kyle, we know exactly what's going to happen. There's no fucking point. You're welcome to go watch it if you see fit. You're welcome. We're not going to stop you from commenting. So, and you want to engage with it, I would probably make the argument that if you want to go engage with these people, tonight on Unirock's channel would be the last chance before if we see you.
They're gonna have members only, right?
Right the hell off.
No, they're not gonna be able to engage. They're gonna have members only, and they're gonna block.
Well, that's what I'm saying. This is essentially their only chance. If they want to do that, they can. There's an opportunity there, and they're probably gonna get blocked even after they become members. It doesn't matter.
Yeah,
The point is that we all know what Kyle's going to say, and if we don't suspect that if he comes up with something out of the blue, we don't care. It doesn't matter. It's already been addressed. There is literally nothing Kyle can say. Nothing. It's done.
Yeah, I know. And that's the best point, is that no matter what he says, doesn't change the court outcome. It's already been.
It changes nothing.
It changes nothing.
Like I said, the only people who care are the people who don't give a shit about what the court has said. So why do we care what they say?
You mean like that lawyer who doesn't care about innocent until proven guilty?
Listen, the court has spoken. If Kyle really had something to say, he should have said it to the judge. The judge was the person he should have been talking to. But we all saw how that turned out. So you know what? There's no point. Who gives a shit? Because I sure as fuck don't. I only care about what happens after the judge signs his name on the dotted line. At that point, there is no rhetoric. There is no narrative that can be painted that changes the fact that the judge signed it over to you. You have won in totality. The channel is ours again. And then we can get back to doing what we wanted to do, which is having good ass fucking interviews, bomb ass shows, and showing that, yeah, we can actually make the show successful without Kyle.
Yeah. And I will address this question now. People have asked, well, they know that Unirock's going to ask Kyle to delete the channel on stream, delete Non Sequitur. By the way, he has the ability to do so. It would be a very disadvantaged thing for him to do. I'm just going to throw that out there. Very disadvantaged. It would benefit us quite a bit in a lot of ways, but it's a pain in the ass, but it will fuck him beyond measure, because this is in civil litigation now. That's destruction of property.
I also want to tell the chat real quick. I actually have a t-shirt design set
up. I
up.
did talk my lawyer on, yes, by the way.
Nice.
I have a t-shirt design set up for when we get Non Sequitur back. I don't know if it'll be a lasting item, but for when the show first come back, we have a t-shirt design ready and set up, and it's called Represent the 5%.
Yeah. I don't see what advantage it would do. Hang on real quick. I don't think what advantage to do to delete the channel, because all we do is we would send something to YouTube. We would censor the judge saying that, hey, look, he committed contempt, and the YouTube channel would be instantly given back to us within the matter of that, and then the judge would have him arrested and hauled in front of the judge and ask, why did you destroy this when you have it legit is a default judgment saying that the intent of the channel is to go to me. That's criminal at that point.
Also,
and there's the other side of that, Steve, is, I'm being an IT guy myself. If he goes in and goes, oh, okay, delete the channel, it's not actually.
Yeah, I know. It does
not, but it's not actually gone.
I know.
Right? I mean, YouTube will have it, and yeah.
So it wouldn't do any good, because we would get it back, and he would end up going to jail. So I don't see the point.
It's not Kyle's channel to delete, and Kyle is now well aware of this.
He knows it. He knows. He
really big decision to make.
It's only his in name only, because he hasn't transferred it yet to me. But legally, the eyes of in the courts, the intent of the church, the intent of the court is to church. We need to get back to religious stuff. We need to get back to.
Kyle never had the right.
An awesome slip, though.
Right.
And keep in mind that Kyle never had the right to do what he's done. And Kyle at no point owned the channel.
Right. It's already been established.
It was owned by Steve and Kyle. Kyle never owned the channel, never had the right to do what he is currently doing, which is currently holding the channel hostage.
And
out of spite, because he's being a petty little shit. But the thing is that, and at this point now, he has beyond no right to do it, because he doesn't own that channel anymore and hasn't for over a month. On top of that, and never did own it. Now he doesn't. He's beyond even having a say in those potential things. However, what we should do is, if we are shutting down and no longer talking about these people, about these situations, or any of these kinds of narratives, if you have any questions, ask them now.
Mm-hmm.
And I put the link.
Legitimate questions that are from the community, because I don't want to shut down.
Yeah, I don't either. I never would. I don't want to do that.
Now.
But I wrote 10 questions. How about? Can I go over these 10 questions real quick, because we're not going to talk about later, Reds?
I mean, we already know what the 10 questions are. You've been asking them for weeks.
Yeah. I was going to make it into the hangout, but whatever. But yeah, these are 10 questions. I was like, these are not going to be answered. Where are the books? How come nobody's ever seen the books, including the Go-host? Why did Kyle lie about having a lawyer? Why did Kyle lie about having a CPA accountant, tax guy? Why did Kyle admit to fraud, fraudulent conversion, unjust enrichment, breach of fiduciary duty, unfair and deceptive trade practices, and breach of contract? He's admitted to those. And you don't believe me? Go look at the court filing number 9. And that is because he had a default judgment. He has tacitly admitted to those things. And by the way, you cannot have breach of contract without a contract, Uni. You're an idiot. Let's see here. Why did Shannon Q, Goddess Engineer, Caitlin Chloe, Mr. Atheist, Katie Jerry Paulson, all co-host for the Non Sequitur show say Kyle had lied to them about the money in the books, not having a lawyer, and him having to sole right to stream and kick me off the Non Sequitur show. They've all admitted, every single one of them have admitted that Kyle lied to them. Number 6, why did he ask Bullinator, Non Sequitur show producer, to lie for him? Number 7, why did Kyle admit that it was a 50-50 partnership on the death of the Non Sequitur show and in court records admitting it by failing to contest? Number 9, why did Kyle lie about requiring to give me the Non Sequitur show channel for, quote, SEO? Why did Kyle lie about me requiring to give him the Non Sequitur show channel, quote, for SEO reasons? Number 9, why did Kyle lie about his non-existent lawyer telling him not to pay me when he had no legal right to not give me what it was earned? He refused to even give me the name of the accountant, tax guy, or CPA. Number 10, why did Kyle lie about saying I would be paid everything I was owed 224 days and counting since he promised, and I have been paid nothing? There you go. Those are the questions that should have been asked. They will not be asked tonight, I guarantee it. And that's the only questions that really fucking matter.
Oh, Steve, the only questions that are coming out of Uni's mouth tonight are going to drive the narrative that they have already discussed in the background. This is going to be a farce.
Oh, absolutely. And if he's so sure he's not going to lose his channel, why would he even ask him to delete it? He's getting revenue off that channel still.
Yeah.
And all the work that Kyle put in, he just thinks that Kyle should just destroy it all. I mean,
right?
It makes absolutely no sense.
That would involve getting arrested. Deleting the channel is literally.
It's a civil criminal thing where it's not on the eyes yet of criminal, like going after a crime is arrested from that standpoint. He'd be arrested, yes, but he'd be arrested as a civil contempt charge. So civil contempt charge, you still go to jail, but it's considered civil contempt, not criminal contempt. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. But either way, he's going to be in handcuffs.
Yeah, he'll be arrested probably.
The thing is that after this, no more. Unirock's going to say some shit. Kay's going to say some shit. The other group is going to say some shit. Lem talk shit. It's done. But all of it should be done and put in the bag, because you know what? The live chat and you guys, you convinced me, and you convinced me as far as I can fucking go at this point. I'm fucking done. I'm fucking done talking about reprehensible pieces of shit that want nothing more than to bring people down. And some of them would go so far as to make fake accounts and make death threats and rape threats with them.
Yep. I couldn't agree more. Fuck them all, man. Fuck them.
I do have another question in regards to this a little bit, because Thoughts by Jay Brown wanted to have that conversation. So out of curiosity, either A, what are your thoughts about the wall that we're building the wall to block out the fake news?
What? I will say this, because Jay Brown hasn't really been in the community very long and has been around very long, so I don't think it's applicable. I don't think we should hold him to the same things. However, I will highly recommend to him, Jay Brown. And I would consider even a favor, if you would even like, not to have some of these people on your channel.
I want to finish,
especially Nate Brody,
because the point is that Jay Brown's allowed to do whatever he wants to do. He's welcome to think about what we've discussed here and make a decision later. It's not like he has to make a decision right now. However, if he does decide to do this, he would fall under the same umbrella as people like Unirock or whoever is going to be having discussions with these people. So, and therefore would then be blocked by us.
Yeah, now, I'm not going to block him, but I don't know if I will.
Shut up for a second. What I'm saying is that
Dick, keep your woman in check, Dick.
At the end of the day, at the end of the day, we can still like Jay Brown if he decides to go through with having the conversations as he sees fit, and that's fine. And then and we'll not discuss it and we'll not talk about it, and he's welcome to have those conversations, and we block him based on that merit. However, when he's done, he can just find a way to let us know.
Sure.
Oh, hey, you know what? I'm done doing my conversations with these people. Da 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 da. And then we'll be like, okay, cool, great, you're back, unblocked.
Yeah, Ash points out, man, the McCrazies were out in force earlier. They're very vocal once they check and see that there's numbers of managers. And there's not as many. They're just loud, but there's not as many as we are. But they'll be like, oh look, they're closing ranks, they're walling up. No, it's not. It's that they want. Well, you know what? If they didn't want to run that, I don't give a shit. But we know the real reasons. And
I already explained it.
So I think that's been decided. I'm good. Jay, you want to?
I want to ask what thoughts are on that.
Well, I would understand and be okay with you guys blocking me at least until a point. But the problem is if the whole community closes ranks, how would I be able to communicate? But that's
there's more than one way to get a hold of us.
You have
I know. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I would highly recommend you, and I made this recommendation to other people, and I gotta tell you, every one of them has come back and said you're right, or just about pretty much. Having those people on is the worst thing you could possibly do to your channel. It's not the type of group you want to have around. Look at the toxicity that was in your live chat today. That's only going to foster and get worse.
Yeah.
Is that the channel you want to build? I mean, if not, we can help you. We will help you build it in different ways.
And that's just it. There's the claim that when I said in my stream today that we just need to let the drama go and just stop. Somebody accused me of using the drama to build my channel. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
If you looked at my analytics, I've been plugging along about my politics and shit for forever. I'm not trying to
go back to politics, man.
That's what I'm planning on doing.
Drop the whole.
This is politics. This is interpersonal politics.
Yeah, I mean, you know what he means. Moon, $5. Thank you, Steve, Chesh, Dick, Reds, DKIS, and many in the chat for the love and support. And you're very welcome, Moon. And we want to show not just support for Moon, but for Chesh, for Sweet, for Manya, and other people that have been bullied by these people as well. So. Thank you to the chat, and thank you for the support from the whole community.
So yeah, so this is basically it. All the people that I want to cut out are going to be cut out, and that's literally the only thing.
I am curious. Sorry, I don't know if we gotten a full answer from Jay Brown, but also I want to. I didn't see. I scrolled through and I didn't see any questions for us about the situation. I didn't see. I
didn't see any either. I'm going to change the name of the title a little bit, just not much. I don't think it needs to be thoughts of Jay Brown, but.
Yeah.
Before we swing to Jay Brown here, can I just say, even if Jay Brown does start interviewing some people that, everybody in the community, not just we, because that's the wrong thing to say. It's not like this panel has the decision, right. But everybody listening knows what I mean. I mean, the greater community as a whole. We can see by what he's done already in this situation that he will do it properly. And as such, I wouldn't even see a problem, to be honest here. You know what I mean? Because he will do it right. And he wouldn't further their narrative. He's going to rip it apart.
No,
so
I get it. I get that, but I don't think no offense, he hasn't seen what we've seen, and he doesn't know exactly what happens. When you have these people on, they are beyond toxic, and they will interject in any channel that has anything to do with us. They did it with In Time. They did it with Great Sinus Mel. They did it with the Geek Room. Every one of those they've interjected themselves with, and they're doing it now with Jay Brown. And so those channels have been stagnated, by the way, very stagnated.
Right now, my plan is just to do my own background gathering of information. That's all it is at this point. Because, honestly, just by the reaction we got in the last 2 live streams with Red and my stuff with Dead Kennedys in Space, I'm not planning on having them on my channel anytime soon. However, I am not going to go back against my word and say that I wouldn't offer them if what I find out deserves clarification from their end, from me. So like if I go through and look at Nate and I have questions of Nate, I would ask him personally. I wouldn't go be like, well,
you don't have to have them on your channel to do that. But yeah, it's your call. But I'm going to give you a heads up. Once you have them on your channel, it's tainted. And I'm telling you, you're gonna be like leeches around you. But it's your thing, your call. Yeah. Before you do, I would highly recommend talking to like Nick. A little bit about that situation, but that's my guess.
There's something to be said for if you want to go gather information, you want to interact with these people to garner that information, and you're doing it privately. Nobody's going to stop you, especially if you're new. if you're newer to the community and you don't know what's going on and you aren't familiar with these people as much as, say, Steve or Reds is, then yeah, you're going to have questions. You're going to want to get clarifications. And you shouldn't necessarily just take our word for saying, no, they're just full of shit.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So you're welcome to go and find. Some people need to experience it for themselves, and it's not a matter of you don't trust us. It's a matter of you want to double check and make sure. And we don't want. The reason why I asked my question is because we don't want to punish people who are honest interlocutors.
I totally get it. Yes,
he's an honest interlocutor.
Yep.
So that's why I wanted to pose the question: do we or do we not block him outright, knowing that he's going to be interacting with these people?
I think there's an exception to every rule.
Privately, then I think that there's no need to block him.
Yeah, I think there's an exception. I don't think that you can have any rule which is so mandated, because it sounds really kind of authoritarian and totalitarian. So I'm not going to do that to Jay Brown. I'm not going to.
It has to do with making a stance out the gate.
I get it. I really do. But Jay Brown has not been around very long. Let him do his thing.
You know what my stance is?
I'm just saying, how do we respond to him doing his
thing? But I will tell him this: if he wants to have those conversations on Twitter, I will block him on Twitter. Is that cool?
Oh yes.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, that's fine.
Yeah.
Let me get on here. Here's how I'm going to take it.
Because I don't care if I only have 1,000 followers on Twitter. I really don't give a shit about Twitter.
Yeah, I really don't give a shit, who he talks to or what about or anything like that, or that goes for anyone else. Just leave me the fuck alone, okay?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
And that's the same thing. Leave me the fuck alone. And I ask people, and I understand they do it because there's a little rule about it. But if you see people talking about this stuff, don't tag me in that thread. I don't care. I don't want to know about it. I won't. Yeah. I won't be saying anything on it. And I will privately message you, telling you not to do it. And then if you do it again, then I will block you. But
what I would say is send it. Tell you what, just so we can keep that block list up to date, you can tell me that something's going on. Send me a message in private, link me to the thread. I will go look at it, see what's happening, and if that account isn't already blocked, I will make sure it's on the block list.
Do your thing. But
I'll take that burden on. I'll manage that.
I think that we've got it covered. I think that the community as a whole, which is, by the way, this is one of the first times I've ever seen the community as a whole ever speak out like this. This is something that I just never seen, and I'm proud. But
in moving forward, does Steve does Steve do a little blurb like this? Do we explain on Caffeine Corner so that way it actually because there are people who are watching now that only watch or that aren't watching now because they only watch on Caffeine Corner. Should we address it on Caffeine Corner?
I think we can make a quick blurb about it. Yeah, I'm okay with that.
What we're talking about. We're not going to discuss the details of this. If you want to know the details, go watch this video. We'll send them here. When we can briefly cover, here's what we're doing, here's what the community decided to do, here's how we're handling it moving forward, because that is what we asked last week.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
Can
Reg,
I
you okay with that?
that maybe an edited video is the way to go to make sure you get the wording and phrasing right and really get the point
I don't want to
across?
make any video personally. This is me.
I know.
Well, that and does that apply to something like, should Reds now go onto his channel and say, hey, listen, blah, 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 blah. If you want more details, go see this. Is that something that should happen? Is that to get the word out?
Not really.
I don't think it's...
And that this stream should just get passed around by
everybody. Let the stream get passed around. Yeah, this is not monetized. It got demonetized when I used the title. So I don't care.
The thing is that this isn't... Here's the reason why I'm not thinking it should go on my channel. All right, so one, this information is not for, quote, everyone. I don't care if everyone sees it. I don't care if no one sees it. The select few people that I want to have heard it are hearing it right the fuck now. Mm-hmm. Mission fucking accomplished as far as I'm concerned. I wanted to get the information out only to that select group of people so that they know I'm done. I am done. Leave me the fuck alone. That's it. End of story.
Yeah, and I'm going to second that too. Leave me the fuck alone too. At this point, anybody who continues on this with Reg or I, it is direct harassment.
Yeah, I am done with it. So here's the thing. They wanted to be like, stop talking about us, stop talking about us, stop talking about us. Okay, well, I'm suggesting that we all just do just that. And you know what? Give us the same fucking courtesy. At this point, enough is enough. I think we're all in agreement that we're never going to reconcile with these people.
Never.
We will never reconcile. They will never reconcile with us, and we will never reconcile with them. So why even fucking continue on with this? If we know it's going to be shit out the gate, then it's going to be shit all the fucking time. So why are we swimming in shit at that point? Why are we swimming in shit? So let's not do it.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. You want to go ahead and say that Steve McRae is, all these bad things, then let him die a slow internet death on his own. I'm pretty sure he'll be able to do that without your fucking help.
I'm so good at that, right?
And if he turns out to be successful, still ignore him.
Well, they hated the fact that I got successful. I remember you told them to fuck off. I told them that exact thing. Fuck off. And they're like, you're never going to get on the YouTube without us. Oh, really?
I don't care how popular they become. I don't care how many subs they got. I don't fucking care. I really don't. A lot of I have a lot of people asking, when the sciencey based content is coming back. Like, for example, when I measure the altitude of the International Space Station, we're actually doing actual real life observations to measure the distance to the sun. I want to get that video underway, but instead I'm dealing with talking about nonsense like this again.
Don't we already know that information? Hasn't that already been confirmed multiple times?
What's that?
We kind of know these numbers, don't we?
We know these numbers, yes, but that's not the point of the video. The point isn't confirming what we already know. The point is that you can confirm it for yourself, and you don't need to take anyone else's word for it.
Oh, okay. And you just want flurfers to drink their own tears.
Should I?
Baby.
I want people to understand that you don't need to take NASA's word for it. You don't need to have them. You're just a NASA shill. That's why you believe it. The correct response to that is total bullshit, and this is how you can figure it out for yourself.
Should I make a playlist of like the Calumny and Obloquy video, this video?
Yeah, just do this. Make a playlist. I will put it on my blog under a general entry, and just have one link. And if anybody ever mentions any of the stuff, here's the link. There you go. If they continue on, block them. For any new people.
Send them here first, and then if they have, and then in the video description of this one, that's where we'll put it. And then we'll share the link with the mods, so that way they can share it if they feel it's necessary to whoever they're dealing with currently. So actually, what I would recommend is that I don't make the playlist. I would actually recommend that Thoughts by Jay Brown makes the playlist, or tells me what videos should be on the playlist, what he thinks.
Why don't you just work really together?
What he thinks addresses these questions or these issues the best, and then I'll put the playlist together.
Might I suggest Logical Troglodyte on that team, because he's got a real insight for this stuff.
No, 100%, absolutely. Sure. If he is willing to do that, I will. I just don't think it's a good idea for me to make the playlist.
Okay.
I think a different person should do it. So if
me too. No.
Troglodyte want to put that playlist together, like, tell me what playlist, like what videos to put on it, and if they have an order, give me the order. I will make sure it gets put together. I'll make sure that a copy goes on my channel and a copy goes on this channel.
I'm of a different opinion on that. My opinion is that any effort that we put towards any sort of narrative that these people have put out is already going against what we want.
Yeah, he makes a good point on that, Chush.
You might. How does the guy that was about to do the debate now tell us where to be? This is an awesome
This is why we're the great debate community.
This was a great stream. Fantastic
This
stuff.
is what I like to hear. I like people changing their positions. And by the way, I've always said, if you don't change your position ever so often, you're not a critical thinker.
I listen at you guys. Definitely got me on board with it, especially after Moon came over. Especially after Moon came over, I was like, you know what? Okay,
this is all bullshit.
This is all bullshit. So
yeah,
if
I'm gonna lean toward Reds right now. I mean, you know what? Fuck the playlist. Fuck everything. Just be done with it. 100% done. We're done. Game over. Let them do let them say what they want to say, and anybody who engages them, I'm just going to extricate from my life. Because it doesn't matter to me. If you want to continue with them, you have every right to. That doesn't mean I have to have you around me.
I actually agree. I think that there's absolutely merit to the argument of why should we do the homework for them? Let them go through the past videos and get themselves. If they really want to run a narrative, they really want to come with questions, or they really want to come at us with something, go do the homework yourself. We don't need to do it for you. I'm down for that too.
Okay.
I like that.
Oh my God. See how we talk about things as adults, and we try to, put our positions and change minds. Wow. This is like
amazing.
the best. Yeah. This is like the definitive great debate community right here.
I agree, but one more thing that I just want to say is that
Quit while you're ahead, man. Quit while you're ahead. We're already gushing over
further
you.
continuance of this hangout, I think, is on its own giving them way too much effort. So what I'm suggesting that we do as of right now is we all just kind of do a Red's rhetoric here and say what we have to say and get the fuck out, and then start putting this into action and be fucking done with it.
All right.
Important to actually get with the community just to make sure that we knew how we were going to handle it moving forward and what caveats there were going to be. Something like Jay Brown, because we don't want to shut down creators. We don't want to shut down Jay Brown's channel by accident.
Yeah.
So,
and by the way, I will tell you today, I've already blocked the Geek Room. I actually blocked Freddie and Brand on Facebook and on Twitter. I'm fine with blocking people that I have no issue with them personally, but I will. Yeah. I'm blocking them on all my platforms. With these people that continue with these people.
That's the link in the chat to the block list. I'll be updating it probably for this is what my day is going to turn into. I'll be updating the block list to make sure everything is actually laid out on it properly. But it's going to take time for it to update. Like the thing updates every 24 hours or something like that. And I don't know what the exact timing is on it. So if you do look through it, it'll be tomorrow that it will be at 100%.
And James C. Mills has said something before. I missed it, but here was good. I think it's a she, by the way. But if you guys want an outside perspective of someone completely new, I've watched the videos and of some folks of those mentioned, just side myself, whether they're ever asking anyone in you guys' character, and they're still around. They're like, people have watched their videos and they're like, these are just, they're all emotionally driven. They don't have any evidence. They're just a straight up hit piece. It's all it is. They're just hit pieces. So
yeah.
Actually, there seems to be some kind of issue with the list. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna unpin the tweet right now, and when it's done being updated, I will retweet it out with the list.
I was just in the background. The shills, we have a private Discord server to keep ourselves organized and arranged and stuff. And the shills are 100% in. We're done. There's no more response. We will only report abuse and move on. It's over.
All right.
Good. Yeah. I'm happy about that.
All right, Dick, since you're you were talking, why don't you say what you got to say and then get the fuck out, dude?
One of the biggest things you got to take away from this, people, is the fact that they're doing it en masse in groups. And this is really a big part of the reprehensible behavior. I mean, if you had one or two that were doing it on their own, fine. But we have people that are literally planning shit out in Discord servers, and they are playing games. And this is what makes it absolutely reprehensible behavior. They're vile little scumbags, and like Reds and Steve and Chesh and Thoughts here have said, every time we engage, we're giving them the fucking platform. Fuck you. You lose.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is them losing at the end of the day, yeah.
All right, Brown. Oh, you got to get the fuck out, Dick. I can't kick you out.
Right.
Part of the thing there.
Honestly,
now that he's gone, let's talk shit about him. I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Jay.
Yeah, Dick, that guy, man. What a
dick.
What a dick.
He's such a dick. Isn't he a great dick? I love Dick. I know you do. Go ahead. Yes.
Anyways, no, honestly, I understand where you guys are coming from on all this, and I also understand where somebody like myself coming from outside the community needs to be able to make a decision for ourselves. At the same time, I just want to say that your guys' character has been repeatedly shown to be there, whereas theirs, it's constant attack, and not actually hearing somebody out. So, I will do my own investigation, but I have strong feelings that I will still, side with the community on this and eventually adopt the block list. So
that means a lot to us, actually, and we thank you for the kind words. And you'll see that all they're interested in is character assassination. They don't want to talk about the topics. They haven't talked about the topics since. Oh my God, it's been 4 years since any of them have even talked about any substantial topic.
Yep. Later.
All right, thank you, bud. All right, Chesh, see what you got to say and get the fuck out. Because I started with the Reds, I got to end with the Reds.
I think that what we're doing is appropriate. I think this is the winning move. The winning move is to not play. And essentially what it turns into is that it's a lose if we engage and try to address it. If it's a lose if we just straight up, if we try to just ignore them. But as a community, that's different. That changes things. Having the community on board and having the community make that decision and having the community actually care about us enough to not care about the drama and not care about these random ass accusations and have them actually care about us and the topics. I think this exactly demonstrates the opposite of what a lot of people have been saying with when we were addressing Katie Joy and when we were addressing Unirock and when we address these kinds of topics. They agree that these things need to be addressed sometimes. However, they care about us enough to no longer ask, to no longer push for that content, because what matters is that standing as a community, now that somebody has been put, luckily we didn't have somebody pushed as far as like Rachel Oates was pushed or further. We didn't let it get to that point, unlike some of these other communities. We're going to look out for each other. We're going to make sure that this kind of shit doesn't happen. And this is what the community has decided to do. This isn't something that Steve decided, oh, I'm afraid or I'm scared or whatever, and I don't want to have to deal with it and I don't want to have to address it anymore. No, the community is telling us, you know what? We've heard you guys out. We've heard what you guys have to say about it, and we are done with it. Enough is enough. And why else would we do it? And I think that pretty much covers it.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. And the community is what we want to know about. The community is people that we care about. So
yeah. So my last word would just be thank you to the community.
All right, get the fuck out. All right, Reds.
Yeah.
By the way, you had a lot of good speeches in there, I got to admit. So props to you, man.
Please tell me about it. This a lot of thing has been a giant thorn in a lot of people's asses for a number of years, and I'm happy that we seem to be very serious about bringing it to an end, because enough is enough with this, because it's gotten so toxic and so reprehensible, even to the point where people are getting death threats and doxing and fucking rape threats and shit like that. You know, bringing up your daughter is not fucking cool, I would imagine. So it's gotten to the point where enough is enough. Had fucking enough. I am perfectly happy to stay in my lane and do what I do best, which is debunk flat earth on the internet, film rocket launches, and have a good fucking time while doing it. I only hope they stay on their side of the lane and don't cross the streams, because I'm fucking done. I am done with this shit. Enough is enough. After I heard what happened to Moon, my heart kind of sank a bit, especially when she was sharing the screenshots of the messages that she fucking got, and I was like, holy fuck. That's where it's gotten to. That's how far this has gone. I mean, it boggles the fucking mind that it's really gotten that far, and I find myself not believing it sometimes. But yet here we are, and this is it. So what is the responsible thing to do in this case? The responsible thing to do would be to promote this preventative maintenance that we're doing to make sure that shit like this can at least start to die down. One thing that I want to make very fucking clear, it's going to get, quote, worse before it gets better. And I'm guilty of it. I took the bait a few times, and I'm going to make sure that I don't fall for that shit again. And I'm going to hope that other people don't fall for it as well. Keep this shit in mind. They need us in order to live. They need us in order to have any sort of presence that's even somewhat worth a damn on this platform. Starve them of that, and you will literally be doing the most amount of progress here. Starve them of every fucking thing. They're not worth your time. They're sure as shit not worth my time. They're sure as shit ain't worth Steve's time, Cheshire's time, anyone's time. The Shill's time. No one needs to deal with them and all the shit that they've put forward and the toxic environment that they have made. Not just for them, but for everyone else for that matter. Because like I said, now the environment has gotten so toxic, it's resulted in death threats and threats of rape and doxing and shit like that, which is all stuff that I think is universally accepted as shitty things. So I would like to apologize to Moon if I made her uncomfortable in any way. I want to apologize to anyone if I put a little bit too much shit on their plate. Wasn't my intention. But moving forward, enough is enough. I'm going to stick to it. And that's it. Leave me the fuck alone. That's it. Leave me the fuck alone. Think what you will about me, but just leave me, and especially my friends, the fuck alone. Because we're sick of your shit. Thank you. And Steve, take care, okay?
Thank you, buddy. Yeah, and I'm not even going to really say anything after that. What he just said just apply to me, verbatim. It's 100%. I do ask you guys like and or dislike this video. I don't even care. Just one or the other, like or dislike. But I want everybody. There's 200 people watching. As soon as you can, I know it takes a while sometimes after you upload a video. Will you please comment on this video and kind of pledge that this is what you want to do, and this is what you think is the best action as well. And if you disagree, that's great too. I'm not going to remove any comment from anybody in the community that disagrees. Voice that as well, by all means. But I want to get your feedback on it. And I wanted to have it that you guys, like for example, like Gaza Scummer, I leave a comment and say, you know what, I think this is a good decision, or you know what, I just have some issues with it. Just let me know. But I want everybody that's listening to this, show us the support for Moon and from other people that we as a community are behind them. Because I know how powerful this community can be. And Reg is exactly right. They thrive off the disharmony. They thrive off the discord. They thrive off the drama. They absolutely do. And I've known this. This is why I didn't talk about this group for a very, very long time. They were people that I wanted to get extricated from my life. They've come back around. But now we have a bigger following and bigger people. And why doesn't Taddy have a wrench? Got to fix that. There you go. Oh, yeah, other channel. But please leave a comment on this. So we guys do that for me. Leave a comment on this video and let me know what you guys think. And let's show as a community that people like Fiona. These are the names that we need, just comment on that you will not have engaged with. But Fiona Robertson, Exiled, Heretic, Nate Brody, Laura, who has to be known as Cliff Jumper because there's a lot of Lauras in the community. Demi, Anti-Ordinary. And Joe, Sipping Tea with Joe, and let's see, anybody else we're missing? Well, those are the primaries, but I'm sure there's probably other ones as well. If you can think of those names, please put in the video description. Put it in the comment section as well. But anyways, I'm gonna leave you guys with this. This is once again just one of the things that was said about my daughter. There was another things talking about they hoped Chesh got raped. These are people that are related to this community. These people that are in this community foster this kind of stuff. And I know that these people are in that community because they show up exactly the same time as those other people do. And I think they know who they are as well. So with that, guys, thank you very much. This was one of the best streams I think we've had in a very, very long time on this channel. And I hope going forward in this channel that we still talk about interesting stuff, but it won't be about any of them because those people are just not that interesting. Good night.